Less than 24 hours ago in Belleville, we'll pull out all the cliches, backs against the wall. The Belleville Bulls needed a win to send this series to a 6th game. 98 minutes of hockey later, and the Belleville Bulls took a 3-2 decision from the Brampton Battalion. Goals were waved off at both ends of the rink. One from Cody Hodgson and then one from the Bulls side as Thomas McCollum was interfered with. Tempers flared. But I'll tell you something, folks, this series is far from over. The Belleville Bulls win a 3-2 heart-stopping victory over the Battalion in Belleville. Now it's Game 6 from the bunker in the Powerade Center. Can the Battalion close it out, or will the Bulls send it back home? Next on OHL Primetime, Game number 6.
Welcome to OHL Primetime, everybody. It's the Eastern Conference Final, game number 6. The Belleville Bulls come back into the bunker to face the Brampton Battalion, and they needed a big overtime win last night to do it. The Battalion lead the series 3-2. The Belleville Bulls just certainly will not go away, and they certainly weren't going to go away last night on their home ice. As Doug Anderson mentioned off the top, a big victory last night, 3-2 in double overtime. Nick Palmieri ends it in double overtime after Matt Duchene was fingered for a tripping penalty, and they went to the power play, and that's how it ended. Mike Murphy, outstanding last night, making 55 stops, I believe, 57 shots, 55 saves. Outstanding performance by the Bulls' number one netminder, and we were thinking he may have been hurting a little bit. Certainly was not hurting last night, was the main ingredient of why we are back here less than 24 hours after last night's game. And we saw some of the highlights last night, and you saw some controversial calls. Matt Kane getting a goaltender interference call. Looked like he got cross-checked into the goaltender. A little bit of questionable officiating. And, of course, as Doug mentioned, a goal waved back. Brandon Mashner thought he ended it in a single overtime, but that was waved off after Corey Tanaka was called for goaltender obstruction, I guess. We're going to throw it upstairs right now to Doug Anderson and Scott Hart for more on tonight's game. Gentlemen, take it away.
Mark, thanks very much. You know, Scott, we talk about this only 24 hours after dropping a 3-2 decision in Belleville. How big is it for the Battalion to come back right away and wipe the slate clean and start anew?
Yeah, no question about that, Doug. If you're the Brampton Battalion, you just want to forget about last night. Yeah, you had some questionable penalty calls in your mind. Yes, you had the overtime goal scored on you in that second overtime. Mike Murphy, absolutely huge for the Belleville Bulls, as Mark Heron did mention. But in my opinion, this is the best remedy for the Battalion. Get right back at it, a chance to clinch the series here on home ice.
As you can hear, the bunker in the Powerade Center is rocking for game number 6. So, when we look at our players to look out for in today's matchup, the one name that comes to mind is Nick Palmieri, the Belleville Bulls. Has anybody been on more of a hot streak than he has, with 12 goals and 3 assists in the playoffs? But most of the big goals are coming in the last 3 games, 7 big-time tallies.
Well, this guy's been a standout stud for the Belleville Bulls, Doug, especially the last 3 games, and it says 7 goals. He's been exceptional.
8-game point scoring streak for Evgeny Grachev, and he'll be counted on big time tonight.
Well, you know what, Doug? I think the stats can be skewed a little times. We see Grachev there, 5 goals, 7 assists on an 8-game point streak, but I think he really needs to step to the forefront tonight, Doug. He's been a little quiet the last couple games. Expect big things from number 15 tonight.
It should be a great matchup. Mark, let's go back to the studio.
Guys, and as always, I had a chance to catch up with both head coaches before tonight's game, and we asked them about the goaltending situation and how key it is for the playoff run. And here's George Burnett and Stan Butler with some of their thoughts.
He's given the Brampton Battalion a tremendous confidence that
There you see the final last night in double overtime. Nick Palmieri getting 2 goals, including the big winner in double overtime. The Belleville Bulls had 9 power plays compared to 4 for the Brampton Battalion, so a little bit disparity there. But Cody Hodgson a goal and an assist, and Evgeny Grachev getting the other goal for the battalion, and they will try to hold serve at home here tonight to see if they can win the Eastern Conference Championship, while the Belleville Bulls want to send it back home on Sunday night for a Game 7. There you see the series stats to date. Brampton leading the series, obviously 3-2. The goals in favor of the battalion, the shots in favor of the battalion. The power play, look at the Belleville Bulls, 6 of 29. Great power play numbers for the Bulls in this series. And there you see the penalty minutes right now favoring the battalion, which is unusual because the battalion, one of the more disciplined teams in the Ontario Hockey League through the regular season. And there you see the leading scorers. No question, Paul Mary. What a whale of a series he's having. 7 goals and 3 assists, really keeping the Bulls in this one. And there you see the Grachev with 4 goals and 3 assists for the big Russian. Well, there you see Mike Murphy and the Belleville Bulls getting ready. He was outstanding last night. He will need to be again tonight if his team is to force a Game 7. Friday night here in OHL Primetime. Doug, Scott, take it away.
Play underway here in the first period as it goes down deep inside Belleville territory. Grachev jumps on the loose puck. In the corner, Pither jumps in with him. Grachev cycles it down low for Peluso. He looks to feed it out in front. Cody Hodgson trying to get away through traffic. It's played to the near side. Subin lets it go. Pass through the middle. A little too far behind Palmieri. Comes back to the battalion blue line. That's Josh Day for Matt Clark. Starting things up for the battalion. Giveaway. Here comes Pither. Across the blue line. One-man attack for Pither. He'll hold up and dump it in the corner, heading off to the bench after a long shift. Palmieri bumps with his man. Grachev in to take the puck away. Grachev pass through the middle. He hits Duchene on the fly at center. Duchene 1-on-2. Trying to go through 2 defensemen. Pajot breaks it up. 51 seconds into the opening period. Game number 6 of the Eastern Conference Championship Series. Matt Kang throws it down low. Kang makes the move, gets the shot away. Loose puck, rolls to the crease. Murphy sticks it back into the corner. Pajot bumps with Kang. Puck comes along the near boards. Albert pinches in and keeps it down low for Tansky. Tansky throws it back up top. Ken Peroff sweeps it away. And here's Brendan Mashinter across the blue line. Shot right on. McCollum makes the save. Rebound is cleared away, and Kang comes back to center ice. First big save of the game goes to Thomas McCollum.
A good sign for the battalion, Doug. Coming up big on Mashinter. Big save from McCollum early on.
Brad Albert. Long pass broken up by Mark Canton. Canton. At the blue line, Canton, backhand pass looking for Johnson. Out in front, and it's cleared by McCollum along the boards. Moore can't clear it. Station comes in to help out. Johnson pushing along the boards. Luke Johnson comes in to help out. On the near side is Jason Dale. Outlet pass through the middle. That's off the skate of Stefan Thorne. Mackey lost it at center. Play comes back to Peroff. Ken Peroff flips it back to the center ice area. Hodgson goes after it, takes it away from Steven Silas, who comes back to strip Hodgson of the puck. Play goes on as good flow to the early part of the first period of play. Hodgson across the blue line, one-on-one with Subin. Hodgson throws it back through the middle looking for Grachev. Big long reach of Grachev, knocks it down. Can't get the puck over to Anthony Peluso. And it's drifted through the center ice area, knocked down by Matt Clark and one-handed to Cody Hodgson. In for Grachev, wrist shot. Big glove save coming from Mike Murphy.
Well, Doug, as we get some extracurricular activity after the whistle, we talked about big things from Evgeny Grachev tonight. Huge opportunity early, and he's robbed by Mike Murphy. There's the scratches for tonight's game, Doug, and the most notable, number 25, Eric Tangrady for the Belleville Bulls. Tangrady with the laceration of the hand last night, and we heard George Burnett in the post-game press conference, Doug, and he pretty much alluded to right away that it was unlikely Tangrady was going to play, so the Bulls will have to march on here without one of their best forwards. We're going to look at that last opportunity in his wheelhouse. Grachev with the wrister, big glove save from Mike Murphy. Looks like he's carrying over that play from a big Game 5.
Well, we got to say right off the top for Eric Tangrady's sake, we hope everything will work out for him, and you know, best wishes to him. There's a shot right off the side from Kang. Duchene throws it back out in front. Kang can't gather it up. Taking it away the other way is Corey Tanaka, who throws it in the far corner. Mashinter behind the net. Clark pumps with his man. Tanaka goes after the loose puck, and he gets taken out by Josh Dang. Mashender in the corner. Tanaka and Clark coming together. Finally, the battalion cleared off the glass and back to center ice. Just to follow up on the Eric Tangradi, the thoughts and prayers are with the young man, and hopefully a speedy and full recovery is in order. Do know that he was heading off to Pittsburgh to see some doctors down there over the next day or so. So, he was certainly disappointed with the way his OHL career has come to a close, and rightfully so. A real nice kid, and a kid that deserves a lot better than the way it has finished for him. Out in front, Jason Dale buries one for the battalion. They lead it 1-0 in the slot.
And you mentioned it off the top, Doug, the noise in this building. We haven't heard anything like it all year. And Jason Dale gets the home side off to the strong start. Less than 4 minutes in the slot, untouched. The one-timer snaps it by McCollum. Great work by Thomas Stajan along the wall. Out battles of a Belleville Bulls defender to set up Jason Dale on a beautiful pass play. And the battalion, the start they're looking for, Douglas. 1-0 early on.
Silas along the boards, but here we go. There's a tilt deep inside as Johnson going toe-to-toe with Sam Carrick, and Carrick throwing some big rights, coming over top of Johnson. Carrick throwing back. Johnson goes down, Carrick's on top, and they'll be both going to the box after a nice little tussle.
Another reason you know what a huge game this is, Doug. The rook, Sam Carrick, dropping the mitts with Steven Johnston, and Johnston, a guy who missed 9 games for the Belleville Bulls, Doug, with a knee injury, so you know they want to be a little bit careful with him, but Sam Carrick not hesitating whatsoever to drop the mitts, get the crowd even more fired up than they already are after that Jason Dale slide. But how about the secondary scoring, Doug? We know what we expect. We know what we expect from the top line, Hodgson, Peluso, Grachev, the Matt Duchene's, but the secondary scoring, which has been so key for the battalion all year, really stepping up early in this game, as we see from the Jason Dale goal.
Face off just outside the blue line. 15:58 to go here in the first period of play. Hodgson wins that draw from Pither. Puck comes back inside battalion territory. Clark dishes off. Josh Day back for Matt Clark. Clark for Peluso, looking for the tip pass to Hodgson. It gets by the defender. Candu is pitching up, but Subban is back. He'll play along the far boards, and the Bluebirds are back out in force every time PK Subban touches the puck. Hodgson goes wide. His wrist shot goes off the pad of Canton and bounces in the corner. Clark sends it back down low. Out in front, Grachev wrist shot. He telegraphed that one, and Palmieri was out to block it. Then the sharp angle shot sees Murphy cover up for the stoppage and play.
Well, Evgeny Grachev, Anthony Peluso, Cody Hodgson, the big line buzzing early on as Grachev gets a second quality opportunity here. Not even 5 minutes into the game, Doug. Shots 4-1 for the battalion, and they've had some quality chances in addition to the goal that they've scored.
Lalonde in the corner. Nice pass through the middle. Tanaka leads the attack. Throws it to the far side. Here come the Bulls 3-on-2. Tanaka to Mashiner. Fired it over top of the net. In front. They pound at it with McCollum down. And the whistle goes. A stoppage in play. And a pile-up ensues.
A huge pile-up in front of Thomas McCollum here, Doug, as the puck took a bounce and it almost went the Belleville Bulls' way. Brendan Massenger coming in with that huge shot and ends up taking a funny hop off the glass, bouncing in front of McCollum, but does not cross the line, and the Brampton veteran netminder is able to fall back on it before it crossed the line, so the Bulls coming that close to tying this game up.
Brandon Massenger steps into the top of the circle, and he has a deadly wrist shot, and he had it top labeled, but blew it over top of the net, off the back of the glass, and you know McCollum was standing there, really nothing he could do about that. Face-off deep inside of battalion territory. Duchene and Tanaka to take the draw in. Boy, Corey Tanaka certainly counted on by George Burnett with Eric Tangradi out of the lineup. He'll be taking a lot of the important face-offs, and more importantly, he's got to face Cody Hodgson and Matt Duchene. Duchene wins the draw. Tansky tips it by the defenseman Pajot. Tansky goes after it. Lalonde back inside his own zone. Tansky bumps with him. Put around the far side by Lalonde. Tanaka lets it go. Massenger picks it up at center. Steps across the battalion blue line. Clark watches him. McCollum steers it aside on the sharp angle shot, and the battalion lead their own zone. Here comes Duchene through center. Full head of steam for Duchene. Lost the puck at the blue line. Gets it right back. Sends it deep for Kang, and it's broken up along the boards as Pajot was there to get in the way. Jason Dale from center. He'll throw it to the far corner. Boy, this line of Dale, Stajan, and Thorne has been strong for the battalion, giving them 3 full lines that can come at you. And that's been the difference for the battalion. The depth has taken over. Stajan has the puck in the corner. Throws it out in front. Penalty coming as Stefan Thorne was dumped at the side of the net. We'll see the battalion power play for the first time this evening.
Oh, this line of Stefan Thorne, Thomas Stajan, and Jason Dale certainly been effective early on. They've scored the first goal here, and that was Nick Pajot goes to the box for hauling down Stefan Thorne, Doug. But we saw that trio formed late in Game 4 when we saw Matt Kang play with Tansky and Duchene. Thorne comes into play with Stajan and Dale, and they've been a real effective trio, Doug.
Grachev to the point. Day has Hodgson. Day heads to the middle. Hodgson drops down. Feathers that pass and actually came right back to him. Hodgson fanned on it. Has it. Back to Day up top. He's got Grachev now. Grachev slides down. Peluso camps out on Murphy's doorstep. Day for Hodgson. Sharp angle shot. Duchene. Wrist shot to the front of the net. Goes off a skate right to Cody Hodgson. His sharp angle shot. Murphy hugs the post. Peluso battles with it. Puck comes loose. Kept in by Day. He'll throw it deep for Peluso. Peluso back to the point. Hodgson watched closely. Throws it across. And Duchene tips it to Grachev. Back up top. Day has it. Nice job by the Bulls to collapse in front of Murphy. And he gets a piece of that hard shot from Grachev to steer it aside. Day again. He lets it go. Deflected just wide by Peluso. They throw it out in front, does Duchene, but Tanaka's on the doorstep to send it down the ice. Battalion trying to catch the Bulls on a line change. Grachev comes across the blue line with a head of steam. Turns it back to Ken Peroff. Slides it down to Matt Duchene. Kane from the corner. Loose puck. Grachev pokes it away now. Grachev gets it right back to the point. Peroff for Evgeny Grachev. Quick pass down low. Duchene twisting and turning, trying to get away from Subban. Duchene up top for Day. Backpedaling, leaves it for Duchene, tries to poke it through the middle, and it's cleared back through the neutral zone by Luke Judson.
Well, the battalion power play buzzing, Doug, here with this opportunity. Unable to go, and if there's any part of the game they'd like to get better at, certainly the power play, just 2 for its last 24. So, but early on, Mike Murphy equal to the task on this man advantage.
Krug off the boards, down the ice. Possibly time for one more rush with 10 seconds left in the power play. Kang has the puck. Going wide on Mashiner. Kang gets ahead of steam right into the top of the circle, pulls it in, lets the wrist shot go, labeled for the glove side, and he just missed. Tanaka follows up. Pajot's out of the box. Penalty's over and done with. Sharp angle shot. McCollum squares up nicely.
Well, the Brampton Battalion, certainly the start you're looking for, Doug. You alluded to it off the top when we talked about wanting to forget about Game 5 last night. Best thing was to get right back at it here in Game 6. And the Battalion have certainly come out with a lot of gusto here to begin this game. 8 minutes in, they're up 1-0, and Mike Murphy's had to be very, very sharp here in the early going.
Brian Cameron wins the drop at the Battalion control. Grachev to Peluso at center. Steps in, fakes the shot, inside out move on Kent and got around him. But Corey Tanaka once again back to help out defensively. Boy, Tanaka is so strong at both ends of the rink. PK Subban from center sends it deep. Matt Clark with time and space behind the net. Cameron waits for him. Hodgson will bring it out. His pass goes off of Cameron, but right to Matt Clark. And he plays it over to Grachev at center. Grachev steps in, sending it deep. That will signal a full line change for the Battalion. Along the near boards, Mashiner has the puck. Plays it to the blue line and out as Jason Dale leaves it. And it's cleared along the boards by Josh Day. Jason Dale backhands one to the side of the Belleville net. Stajan goes after it with Kent, and they bump into the boards. Knocked down by the Battalion. Dale gets it over for Kent. Out in front as Thorne made the pass to Stajan. He was tied up nicely by Luke Pither. Pither across the blue line, back the other way. They blow it down.
Doug, I really like what I'm seeing from this trio of Stajan, Dale, and Stefan Thorne. They're really gelling, creating that first goal. They've had a lot of chances, and they forechecked very effectively. And you got to believe, we talked about the fatigue factor possibly setting in for defensemen on the Belleville Blue that have played a lot of minutes. If you're the battalion, you want to attack early, get them moving a lot.
Steven Silas across the blue line, sends it deep. Matthew Tipoff goes after it. Josh Day gives it right back to Tipoff. To Pither at the side, he fired it off a body. Kang chips it off the boards. Bouncing puck, kept in at the blue line. Duchene comes back. Puck is still inside battalion territory. To the far side it goes, Palmieri. Bumped by Duchene, puck comes loose. Pither in the slot, backhand steered away by McCollum as he slides across. Tansky throws it through the middle, a little too far in front of Kang. The theory there is the top 6 forwards on both teams match up. This third line for the battalion has been a difference in the last couple of games. Kang with a break, he's got a man with him. Kang hanging around Subban, hangs onto it. Kang gets the wrist shot away. Big kick, save from Murphy. Boy, what a move by Kang on Subban. PK Subban lugging the puck inside his own zone. Andrew Merritt watching him. Subban, the spinorama gets away through the middle and floats it to the battalion blue line. That'll be a high stick from Station around center ice. 9:57 left here in the first period of play. The battalion lead it 1-0.
We got to look at that last opportunity from Matt Kang, Doug. Gorgeous chance here, nice little inside out on PK Subban. Mike Murphy comes up big, and with more on another battalion defenseman. Here's Gurdeep. What do you got for us, Gurdeep?
All right, guys, well, a closer look at Matt Clark, a big defenseman, 6'3", 215 pounds. Interesting thing about him, he was an 11th round pick in the 2006 OHL priority draft, so not very highly rated, but he's really worked his way up the ranks. Now one of the top D-men on the team. He plays in all situations, and in the final minute of the game, Stan Butler relies on him heavily, and he's eligible for the 2009 NHL draft. Guys?
Matt Clark jumped from number 57 all the way up to number 31 in Central Scouting rankings.
And we've talked about Matt Clark all year, Doug. What a steadying force he's been on that battalion blue line. His puck moving's improved, his skating's improved. Always a physical presence, and certainly deserve it for Matt Clark. He's been real solid all season.
Andrew Merritt tips it ahead for Craig Moore. Sorry, that's Stefan Thornton poking it past Krupp. Right to the front of the net goes Sam Carrick. Alcock along the boards, kept in by Eriksson, and Murphy covers up nicely on the shot from the point from Alexander Eriksson.
While we talk about Mike Murphy's, we get a good look at him there. We talked about it off the top of the broadcast, Doug. 56 shots on net last night, 54 saves for Mike Murphy. And judging by the amount of battalion chances he's faced in the first half of the period, certainly expecting another night, a busy night for Mike Murphy in the Belleville net.
And Mike Murphy has always had that unorthodox style between the net, but the name of the game is stopping the puck, and very few do it any better than he does.
And he certainly did it last night in spades.
Mashner in the corner, puts it behind the net. Cameron lets it go. Kang wheels away. He's got Tansky with him. Hit a body. Kang inside his own zone. Peroff looking to clear the puck, and he gets tied up. Finally, the battalion get it to center. Scott Tansky lost the handle as Corey Tanaka gets on it. Lalone to Canton. Across his own blue line. Mashner now at the battalion blue line. His pass intended for Tanaka, who has to backpedal to get it. Peroff's going to chase this one down. McCollum puts it around the boards. Lalone steals the puck away. Goes back in the corner. Mashner takes the hit from Duchene. Duchene all over Mashner in the corner, and they move behind that. Out in front, deflected, loose puck. McCollum slides across, kicks another one. Mashner gets 3 cracks at it, and McCollum comes up big each and every time.
Well, we talked about Thomas McCollum. He was going to look to have a huge game tonight here on home ice, Doug, in Game 6. And in front of the net, Brendan Mashinder, who's had a number of chances here in this first period, gets not 1, not 2, 3 cracks in front of the net. Corey Tanaka had a whack before that, and Thomas McCollum square to the shooter, not giving them any room. Great stops early on. He looks real sharp.
The fact that Brandon Mashner had 3 chances like that in tight without a body laid on him is unacceptable.
No, absolutely it is unacceptable. On the other side of things is we've got, looks like offsetting penalties here to Brad Albert and Corey Tanaka, but remember, Mashinder, a big kid, 6'4", certainly a presence, and you know, without Tank Grady tonight, Mashinder's certainly going to be counted on to come up with some big offense, and he's had a lot of chances early, but Thomas McCollum equal to the task. And all we're seeing up on the score clock right now, Doug, is a 2-minute call to Brad Albert. Looks like it's going to be an extra 2 to the battalion.
It is. Scott Tansky's gone to the box as well. So Tansky in the box, Albert in the box, and it is a 5-on-3 for the Belleville Bulls as Tanaka came out of the box.
Wow, what an opportunity here to get back on even terms for the Belleville Bulls. Full 2 minutes with a 5-on-3.
Hodgson, Erickson, and Clark to kill this one off. Subban back to pick it up for the Bulls inside his own zone. Lengthy strides through the center ice area is PK Subban. Palmieri puts the shoulder down. Clark gets a bump of him. Rolls into the corner. Back up top. Lalone has the puck. Looking with Subban. Lalone moves back, throws it down low. Palmieri to Subban. Here comes the shot down low for Palmieri in the corner. They'll set it up again. Lalone has it. Subban on the far side. Erickson. Rifle that one does Subban. It goes wide. Battalion trio are just dropping down in front of shots and closing in front of Thomas McCollum. Sharp angle shot. McCollum squares up to Lalone's blast and hangs on.
Puck 14 remaining in the full 2-man advantage here for the Bulls, who throw the puck around nicely. But again, Thomas McCollum able to get square to the shooter, squeeze this puck under his arm, and not let out a rebound.
Off the draw, the Battalion get it to the blue line and not out. Subban is on top of it. Day chasing him, takes him down. No penalty called on the play. Day then pushing Subban to the ice in the corner. Pither has the puck. Day bumps with him. Subban comes away with it. Slides it back down low for Pither. Up top it comes to Subban. He's got Lalone with him. Drags it wide and gives it off to Lalone. Peroff lets it go. Palmieri shot. And McCollum gets a piece of that one. It goes up and out of play. 47 seconds left in the 2-man advantage.
And the puck on the stick of the guy you want it to be for the Belleville Bulls, the red-hot Nick Palmieri. As we see the Bulls throw it around, starting with Subban. He gets it into Sean Lalonde, who sets up Palmieri on a tee, but he just shoots a little bit high. I think McCollum got a piece. 47 seconds remaining on the 2-man advantage.
And Nick Palmieri had that eye on the top corner, over the shoulder, over the stick shoulder of Thomas McCollum. A place that he's familiar with, that just could not bury it past McCollum this time. Palmieri puts it behind the net. Pither looking to move it back up top, slides it off towards Subban with time and space. Erickson drops down in front. Pither back up top for Subban. He's got Lalone open on the near side, slides it across. Lalone to the side of the net. Palmieri, loose puck, bounces away. Hodgson goes after it. Palmieri picks it up. Palmieri back up top. Subban down low for Pither. They've got tip off and tight. Puck comes loose. Erickson can't clear it. Penalty coming against the Bulls. Luke Pither will be going to the box. 12 seconds, and the Battalion will be on the power play.
Yeah, Pither will go 2 for the trip, is what we're calling it, on Alexander Erickson. Some great work from the Battalion, Doug, getting in shooting lanes, blocking shots, keeping the Belleville Bulls to the outside. Look at Matt Clark doing the dirty work, getting down whatever it takes to block a shot. And here's Alexander Erickson doing the same, attempting to clear the puck, and Pither takes him down. Battalion now, it'll be a 4-on-3 for the next 12 seconds before the Battalion go on the man advantage.
I know it's 5-on-3, and I know the Battalion were battling there to keep the puck out of their own zone. That was a borderline call at best.
That's why we always say it. You and I are wearing the zebra shirts, partner. That's why we're up here.
Pajot inside his own zone. Tansky and Albert out of the net, out of the box.
What a hit.
A big hit from Scott Tansky on the far side, rocking Nick Pajot. 1:35 now in the Battalion power play. Here comes Duchene leading the attack. Duchene gets it up for Peluso along the boards. Offside called on the play.
Scott Tansky charging out of the penalty box, heading to the bench, and he's like, I'm going to get me some before I head off. And he puts the shoulder right into Nick Pajot. Good, clean, solid body check. Battalion now get a power play, Doug, for the next minute 30.
Craig Spada and Brent Holdsworth, the referees for tonight's game number 6, with the Battalion leading 1-0 and a goal coming from Jason Dale. Peluso through the middle. Battalion on the power play. Duchene leaves it down low. Peluso almost gave it away to Day. He did, and Tanaka gets it past Day and through the center ice area. Cody Hodgson brings it back the other way. Hodgson down low in the corner. Hodgson working the puck around. Gets it away from Dent and back up top for Grachev. Day for Grachev, and Hodgson joins them up top. Peluso working over the front of the net with Nick Pajot. Duchene steps in. There's the shot right out in front. Murphy comes up top in front of Kenton. He gets enough of it to steer it out of harm's way.
Oh, Matt Duchene got a stick on that high Cody Hodgson point shot. Had the right idea. I was impressed he was able even to get a stick on it. It ends up bouncing up high just over top the glass. We get another look. Cody Hodgson in familiar territory on that point during the power play. Cranks one. And Duchene with a screen in front got a stick on it over top the net.
Bulls relieving the pressure. 5:45 left here in the first period. 45 seconds left in the power play for the Battalion. Looking to stretch the lead to a pair of goals on the man advantage. Hodgson is in tight with the puck. Hodgson trying to get away from tip-off. Duchene works it over. Peluso out to the front of the net. And right there to take it away and whistle it around the glass is Luke Judson, but it doesn't come out as Josh Day gets over to help out. Peluso from the side of the net, takes it in the skates. Lost control of it. Peluso trying to get away from Subban. Back to the point. Hodgson to Day. His shot to the front of the net. Hits a body, they score! Matt Duchene on the power play! 14 seconds left in the penalty to Luke Pither, and the Battalion take a 2-0 lead.
And the power play awakens, Doug. Just 2 for the last 25 heading into this man advantage. And what do they say? Gotta be lucky to be good, good to be lucky. Anthony Peluso, though, doing exactly what's called of him, creating havoc in front of the net. And the puck ends up going off. I believe it ends up going off the Belleville defender in front. I believe it went off Subban. Goes right on the stick of Matt Duchene, who's got the open cage. The power play strikes. It's 2-0 Battalion.
Pajot backpedals inside his own zone. Silas outlet pass looking for Mashiner, too far in front of him. And Albert dishes behind his own net. A little too hard of a pass for Perroff, but it's Stefan Thor on the far side. Looking attempt for Dale a little too far, and the Belleville Bulls get it to the blue line and out. Long pass to the far side, and going down over center ice was Brian Cameron. That lets Kenny Perroff back to pick it up for the Battalion. Perroff to Dale. Ahead for stage, and he tries to chip it deep. And right on top of that was Silas to break it up, and he outlets the pass to Mashiner. Mashiner sends it in the corner. Albert languishing after it. Cameron takes him out on the play. Here comes Dale, back the other way. 3-on-2 attack. Dale gets the center and sends it deep. That's a full line change for the Battalion coming as 5 fresh set of legs jump the boards.
This crowd electric now, Doug. A 2-0 lead as the power play strikes Duchene. Team leading 11th goal here in these playoffs.
Outlet pass. Palmieri takes a crack at it. Sam Carrick knocks it down. Carrick works it over at center. He's playing on a line with Tansky and Kang as Duchene was on the recent power play. Clark has to hurry to get back for tip-off. Tip-off working over Clark in the corner, trying to come away with the puck. Back to the point it comes. Canton steps in. Big kick save from McCollum, getting just enough. Corey Tanaka, he lost that one. Carrick outletting it for Kang, up for Tansky. He gets it deep, and Carrick goes after it with Canton. Canton takes the puck away. 3:35 left in the first. Albert steps up. Hodgson breaks it up through the middle. By Lalone, dishes off for Peluso. His shot is partially blocked, hits a body and goes behind the net. Peluso and Hodgson tied up as it comes back to the point. Kept in, and Peluso behind the net now. With time, Anthony Peluso tries to step out of the corner and feed it back to the point. Perroff with the rolling shot. It goes wide. Through the crease goes Grachev in the backhand. Peluso to the front of the net, and finally cleared down the ice by Mark Canton. Just wide, call it icing, bring it all the way back.
All kinds of pressure from the Battalion, and they get a nice hand here from the crowd at the Powerade Centers. We get our first look at our playoff trivia challenge for this evening. What is the longest game in Battalion history? Pretty plain and simple. What is the longest game in Battalion history? Log on to RogersTV.com/trivia challenge for all the details, a chance to win some great prizes. I don't think no hints for that one.
Too recent, that's why. Goes in the corner, Mashiner bumps with his man. Albert puts it behind the net. Josh Day on the outlet pass, a little too far in front of his man. And you gotta believe the quick passes defenders are trying to make that are going awry are simply due to the fact that they know they gotta go tape to tape. Canton breaks this one up, stage it. Bumps with his man, outlet pass. Mashiner at the blue line for Pither, back for Mashiner. Shot to the front of the net. Thorne gets a piece of him. Pither back out. Knocked down by Day. Along the boards it comes. Pajot steps up, plays it into the corner, and it's taken away by the Battalion. Here comes Duchene with good wheels. Mashner trying to catch up. Duchene gets away. He's got Kang out in front, and Thorne couldn't catch up to the pass. What a pass from Matt Duchene. Kang on the rush with Tansky. Kang going wide. Pumped in the corner by Pajot and played behind the net. Canton puts it off the glass. Back to center ice. Clark hits Mackey with it, and it's cleared. Looking for Kang. He couldn't catch up to it. Erickson ties up Johnston. Kang back for Perra. 1:30 left here in the first period of play. Peluso goes after it, bumping with Pajot. Peluso comes away with the puck. Along the boards, Peluso sends it deep, looking for Cody Hodgson. Johnston gets a crack at it. Peluso back for Hodgson. Grachev heading to the front of the net. Poked away at the blue line and cleared to center ice. Peroff knocks it down. He had Mackey behind him. If it got by Peroff, Mackey was in the clear. Grachev bumps with Pajot. Bounced off the boards, back to center ice. Josh Day picks it up and throws it deep back inside Belleville territory. Final minute of play here in the first period.
Final minute of play, Doug, and what a period it's been for the Brampton Battalion. Buzzing all over the place, rewarded with 2 goals so far, and really, if it wasn't for Mike Murphy, it could be 3 or 4. And we got to look at that last fantastic opportunity. Great solo effort from Matt Duchene, who actually passed it through the legs of Mike Murphy and just missed Stephon Thorne, who was coming through the crease. Nearly tapped it into the open cage for a 3-0 lead.
Tip-off, outlet pass. Palmieri runs into Josh Day, follows up, and nice job by Jason Dale to come back and help out. Dale moves behind the net, plays it off for Clark. Clark has Stajan, good pass through the middle, nifty pass looking for Stephon Thorne at center, too far in front of him. Subban to tip-off, he tees it up, puts it right on, and McCollum steers it aside for Josh Day to take control. Day tied up with Palmieri, played off the glass and back to the neutral zone. Final 21 seconds in a period. Here comes Subban, teeing it up through center. Subban inside Battalion territory, hangs onto it, throws it to the side of the net, does PK Subban. In front, big save as McCollum, down and out, lost his stick and somehow got a glove on that one, and the Battalion defender was able to clear the zone. That'll do it for the first period of play here at the bunker in Brampton.
Well, we're going to get a look at that last chance there. It's a very dangerous looking play. Subban shot off the side of the net, continues to pursue, and Palmieri throws it in front. McCollum had lost his stick for a moment, able to cover up. The Battalion had got the crowd into it, a 2-0 lead. Couldn't ask for a better start.
Jason Dale and Matt Duchene get the goals for the Brampton Battalion, and they lead 2-0 after 1 period of play. We're coming back with more of Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Championship Series. Stay with us on Rogers TV.
Yeah, can you hear me? Okay, a couple things. One, the ambient is so loud, I can barely hear Doug calling the game. Like, I can barely hear him. The ambient sound is so loud. We can hear the music when it comes up on the boards. I can barely hear Doug talking. I have to turn it down. I feel like I'm yelling. Another thing, they asked me about my microphone. I feel like I'm eating it. It's so close to my mouth. So it isn't me. So I don't know if we need a new headset or what, but this, like, it needs to be fixed. I cannot hear Doug. Did you hear what I said? Yeah, I'm going to tell him now. So Volsky's down in Suite 111? Yeah. Okay.
I know that because he popped into the booth there. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm here, Mike. Get. No, what are you bringing up there? Okay, Yeah, I can hear it. I can hear it. Okay, you know what? Can you just let me talk to, is James there? Hey, James, just one other thing. Phil Ercolani just told me if you want to get another guest, Wojtek Volsky is up here. He's in Suite 111. So is someone going to...
Welcome back to the Power 8 Center. The Brampton Battalion lead 2-0 after one period of play. We're pleased to be joined right now with number 9, Sean Lalonde of the Belleville Bulls. Sean, obviously not the start that you wanted to get off to. What kind of adjustments are you going to have to make in the second period to try to tie this up?
We just got to get our legs going and create more scoring opportunities. You know, we maybe had 7 shots that whole period, and you know, we didn't capitalize on 5-on-3, which we wanted to do. So we just got to get our legs going and start skating more and get on their D.
You mentioned the leg factor. Obviously, it's going to be pretty tough coming off a double overtime game and then coming back the next night less than 24 hours later, and you got to travel and everything like that. Do you find that's a bit of a factor, fatigue setting in a little bit?
I'm not too sure about fatigue, but it should motivate us more. Being down 3-1 and then winning in double overtime last night, it should motivate us a bit more. But you know, we still have 40 minutes to play, so we're going to come out even harder.
Sean, talk about Mike Murphy's performance last night. It was unbelievable. I mean, 55 saves, 57 shots. What can you say about him?
He's been great all year, and since I'm here, my whole career, he's been awesome. And you know, I think he's truly the best goalie in the OHL, and he's been standing on his head his entire career, and he's got a bright future in front of him.
Nobody likes to see injuries in the playoffs, but you suffered a big one last night with Tangrady going down. Eric obviously cutting his thumb pretty badly, and what does that do to the team morale?
That's our leader, that's our captain, and you know, I think we want to do it for him. He's been carrying us the whole year, and you know, it's just too bad for him and the team.
And Palmieri, obviously, you can't say enough about him. 7 goals and 3 assists in the series. I don't think I've ever seen a performance like that in the OHL playoffs for quite a long time.
Yeah, he's been catching fire lately, and hopefully he's got a couple more left in him for tonight's game.
You've been no slouch yourself. You got a big goal and got first star in one of the games. Obviously, that's got to feel pretty good personally.
Yeah, it was good personally, but you know, the big thing was that we got the win in that game, so hopefully we can do the same and get the win here tonight.
Sean, it's been an entertaining series, man. Thanks so much for joining us, and congratulations, obviously, in getting this far, and hopefully you guys can get back in this.
Yeah, thanks a lot for having me.
Sean Lalonde of the Belleville Bulls, of the Belleville Bulls. When we come back after the break, we'll have more on the first intermission, so stick around.
What about Schneider? For 1 year. Yeah. Schneider's got some left, man. Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, man. Yes, sir. Mark?
Yo.
Hey, listen. Wojtek Volsky's in Suite 111. Mark?
Hey, James.
Mark can't hear us?
Yeah, so anyway, James, I don't know if you want to get Gurdeep to get him or something, or Mark, or he's in Suite 111, so maybe you can interview him, like, I don't know.
At the 10-minute mark?
Yeah.
Let's do that.
There you go.
I mean, he can even go to the
Just 'cause
corner
it'll
camera.
get so busy.
The corner camera, camera 3. James, camera 3 it would be perfect, right? He'd walk right out there. It's like right outside his suite. Or a mic. Okay. Or Mark, are you there? Mark, can you hear us? Marco Scudero. Marco Scudero. He can't hear us. That doesn't bode well for game notes.
Yeah, I can hear you, Doug. I can hear
Mark?
you. I can hear you.
Hey,
yes.
Mark?
Yes.
Wojtek Volsky's in Suite 111 if you want to get him.
No way.
Yes.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that. Excellent. Yeah, I'll go say hi.
Phil just told us.
Oh, cool. Yeah. We'll go. Welcome back to OHL Primetime. The Battalion scored 2 goals there in the first period. They lead 2-0 over the Belleville Bulls in this best-of-7 series, and they lead the series 3-2. We're pleased to be joined right now with Pro Scout Jim Sandlak of the Anaheim Ducks. Jim, obviously exciting watching this. How often do you get out to the games in Brampton to watch?
Well, this is my second one this series. As a scout, a full-time scout, guys are all over the place. They're in their vehicles, they're in the air, and we try to cover as much territory as we can in a short period of time with the Final Four going on right now.
What do you look for in a prospect out there?
Well, right now, especially in this time of year, you're looking to see at this compete level that is so high right now. The kids that do the little things right at this level and the high speed and high tempo. It's a game of mistakes, and to make it to the next level, you want to be limited to the mistakes you do make at this level, because it's even harder at the next level.
What about obviously? Do you look at the little things like skating, how they perform, like angling guys off? I mean, is it that technical, or do you not look at that quite yet?
Well, yes, we look at everything. We look at everything from skating, skating technique, where we're going to try to project this each individual kid 4 years down the road. It's not that they're going to step into a NHL uniform coming up this next September. You look for stick positioning, body language on and off the ice, whether the team's up or down, or whether they're getting blown out, or are they going to take charge of their team. And it's quite an art to pay attention to all those little things.
Oh, no question about it. Are you allowed to approach the players after the game, before or after the game, or is that strictly forbidden?
No, that's part of the job. You got to try to. Basically, the old cliche, get in their kitchen. But that's a goofy cliche. But no, you got to try to, you set up arrangements with the general managers or the coaches, and just so you get to know the kid off the ice as well. You try to find out, his schooling, how he is, and his upbringing, and you try to find out as much as you can about the individual.
I know you're not allowed to talk about players, but we'll just generalize a little bit. Who's impressed you so far in this series out on the ice?
Well, I think obviously everybody's got their attention by P.K. Subban, but he's drafted by the Montreal Canadiens. Listening to the crowd out here, obviously Matt Duchene, he's quite the dynamic player. He has first, second, third gear, and then warp speed. And he just showed it in that first period here. So, that's just a couple guys right there that are key players that are on both teams.
Now, let's talk about some of the players who you scouted before with the Ducks. Did you have any hand in Bobby Ryan?
No, actually, no, I didn't. But that was I'm glad he's on our team.
Yeah, there's no question about it. Now he's got a chance to win the Calder Trophy. Obviously, that's got to be pretty cool.
Well, yeah, for sure. He's a young leader that's stepped up and playing in the first line right now with Getzlaf and Perry. And as you can see, his last night's game, he seems to be getting better with more pressure that's put on him.
Yeah, he was an outstanding hockey player in the Ontario Hockey League with Owen Sound, and it's nice to see him do some good work. And Jim, I appreciate you coming down here and taking some time out, and thanks so much. Enjoy the rest of the game.
My pleasure for having me. Thank you very much.
Jim Sandlak of the Anaheim Ducks, Pro Scout, checking out the action, and he's seeing a good one so far. The Brampton Battalion lead 2-0 over the Belleville Bulls after one period of play. OHL Primetime. Our play of the period comes courtesy of Matthew Duchene. He gets the second goal of that period. There you see on a deflection past Mike Murphy. That was on the power play. That made it 2-0. And that is where we stand after one period of play. There you get another look at it. Matt Duchene, courtesy of a nice little hop. Makes no mistake. And that is where we are. 2-0 after one period of play. There you see the scoring summary of the first period. Jason Dale got it started at 3:55 from Thomas Stajan and Stefan Thorne. Matt Duchene from Josh Day and Cody Hodgson on the power play at 14:47 and 2-0. And of course, some of the if this does go to Game 7, it will be played on Sunday night. That is on April 26th at 7:15 p.m. That is 2 nights from now. And obviously, we will see if the Belleville Bulls can come back. Right now, down 2-0. We'll be right back on Rogers TV, OHL Primetime. Welcome back to OHL Primetime, Rogers TV. The Belleville Bulls up 2-0, and there you see the Brampton Battalion getting set for the second period. Let's throw it upstairs right now to Doug Anderson and Scott Arndt.
All right, Mark, let's flip that around. The Brampton Battalion are up 2-0. Duchene and Day get the goals.
It's all right, Mark. It was actually too good to be true, maybe.
Yeah, Duchene and Dale get the goals. Josh Day puts it behind the net. Day gets it back. For the Battalion, they got to continue in the second period like they started the first period. For the Belleville Bulls, it's an uphill battle, but one they've faced before. Palmieri across the blue line. Day stays with him. Palmieri follows up, throws it out in front. McCollum slides across for the big save. Sharp angle shot. McCollum gets that as well. And this one will be waved off as Hodgson picks it up. Tries to feather it through the middle. Subin jumps up in the play, taking it away and one-handing it to the Battalion blue line. Cody Hodgson tips it ahead for Evgeny Grachev. Wrist shot. Oh, and Murphy waved at that. It hit him in the shoulder and bounced over top of the net.
Dangerous play there, Tug, no question for Mike Murphy. He kind of just whiffed on that glove hand attempt as we get another look at it here with Grachev, a little knuckleballer fooling Mike Murphy, but no damage done at the other end. The Belleville Bulls certainly coming out with a purpose here in the opening minute as they were swarming around Thomas McCollum. So out shooting the Battalion right now, 14-10, but both teams have had quality opportunities. Both goalies have been very sharp.
Duchene wins the draw, but the Belleville Bulls control it. Tansky out in front. King with the shot. Huge pad save. That's right pad robbery coming from Mike Murphy off Matt Kang. Johnson to the side of the net. McCollum with a save of his own. Rebound. Puck is down. They score. Brandon Maschiner. It's 2-1.
Well, great chances at both ends, Doug. And as you mentioned, Mike Murphy, a terrific pad save on Matt Kang. And the Bulls bring it right back down. And the initial shot here goes off of Thomas McCollum's mask, and that might have confused him just a little bit as we get a look at Kang robbed by Mike Murphy, as you said, Doug, and back the other way the Bulls come. And it ends up being Brandon Mashinder who ends up tapping it into the open cage. There's a shot by Judson that catches McCollum in the mask. Rebound to Tanaka, who plays it over to Mashinder. And the Belleville Bulls get that all-important early second period goal and find themselves right back in this hockey game.
Surrounded by green shirts, Corey Tanaka's second effort puts it out to Brandon Mashinder. It's a 2-1 hockey game. $1:30 into the second period of play. Stajan has it in the corner, has to work it over. Along the boards, Cody Alcock takes the hit. That shot, and Murphy gets enough of that to steer it out of harm's way. Well, a whole different hockey game from 2-0 to 2-1.
Well, Doug, I wanted to mention, I was just going to mention to you before that goal went in, we always talk about the next goal being such a big goal, but in this game, Game 6, Battalion up 2-0, the fans really into it. Very, very imperative for the Belleville Bulls to get that goal to cut into this lead, to get themselves back into this hockey game. If it was the Battalion able to find it back, then we're talking 3-0 and a completely different story. So as you mentioned, brand new game here at 2-1.
Day comes across to help out. McCollum behind the net, puts it around the dasher. Palmieri takes it off the back. Pither puts it in the corner. Palmieri working over Day, comes back to Pither, slides it behind the net. Sharp angle shot broken up out in front. Battalion running around inside their own zone yet again. Gotta be able to clear the puck, and Grachev gets it up to Peluso through center. Grachev and Peluso. Peluso tees it up, and that telegraphed all the way as Canton got a stick on it. Subin comes in to push with Grachev, and Peluso comes over and just knocks him to the ice.
All right, we'll see what happens here, Doug. And Peluso got to watch himself. Grachev was mixing it up with PK Subban. Peluso came over and gave PK Subban a shove. He was looking for a penalty on the play, but doesn't look like anybody's going to go to a box for that little confrontation after the whistle. So the Belleville Bulls, that early goal, Mashinger from Judson and Tanaka, and it's 2-1 here with plenty of hockey left to be played.
Off the draw, Belleville Bulls win the draw, and Silas plays it around the near side. Judson lost it, Peroff gets it back. At his own blue line, Ken Peroff. Brad Albert turning away from Corey Tanaka. Albert's pass for Tansky, tipped deep. Tansky chasing it down with Silas in the corner. Silas plays it nicely behind his own net. Duchene almost got it ahead for Kang, broken up by Tanaka. He makes the outlet pass for Mashinder on the far side. Brandon Mashinder puts it behind the net. Picked up by Kang, gets it around the boards. Silas steps up to the play and heads it off into Judson. Peroff and Judson come together. 3 minutes gone here in the second period. Duchene picks that one off, gets it up for Scott Tansky. He steps to center. Long shift for the Battalion forwards. They head off and play it deep inside of Belleville territory. Stajan. Dale gets tied up with Lalone. Silas off the glass, bouncing puck. Alavie can't corral it at his own blue line. McCollum dishes off for Erickson. Through the middle. Stephon Thorne, nice job to stay on side. Nick Pajot to take it away from him. Pajot follows up inside his own zone. Dale comes over looking for the hit. He dishes the puck through center. Belleville trying to get it deep into the Battalion end. Poked at by Thorne, and that comes back to center ice. Alavie's got to hurry. In the corner. Palmieri working over Alavie. Johnston goes after it. Turning from the check of Stajan. Johnston throws it down low. Alavie getting the body finally on Palmieri in the corner is Ben Alavie. Erickson looks for the loose puck. Johnston takes it away, tees it up, rifles one wide. Krupp will keep it in, throw it behind the net. Gets by Cameron, comes to the near side. Pajot feeds it back down low for Cameron. Erickson takes Johnston out of the way and steals the puck, bouncing it off the glass to the blue line, and Jason Dale is there to send it down the ice. Icing is waved off as Krupp had to touch him on the way down.
The Battalion on their heels here, Doug, in the opening 5 minutes after getting that goal. Little momentum swing here for the Belleville Bulls, and they've been pressing, looking for the equalizer.
Hodgson up for Peluso. Across the blue line, Peluso looking to give it back to Hodgson. He'll have to try that attack one more time. Palmieri now off the glass to center ice. Day scoops it up, throws it through the middle for Peluso. Looking for Hodgson, and boy, Palmieri came over with the big shoulder on Cody Hodgson. 5:05 gone. Here comes Subban right in, shot right on, and McCollum squares up nicely and makes the save. And then Subban goes over top of Thomas McCollum into the open net.
Subban and Peluso once again. We saw them in behind the net after a sequence in front of Mike Murphy, and now again is on the other end, Subban creating an opportunity in front of Thomas McCollum, and Anthony Peluso gives him a shot. Here it is right here as he continues towards the Brampton netminder. Peluso make sure he wasn't going to get anywhere near Thomas McCollum and put him down. Once again, no penalties. So it would appear, outside of that couple minors in the first period with the 2 intermissions in Belleville, the referees appear like they're going to let them play.
Clark behind his own net. Josh Day turns it back the other way. Peluso dishes off the board to center ice. Subban backpedals at his own blue line, blocked by Grachev. Boy, that big long reach of Evgeny Grachev certainly gets in the way and makes defenders move the puck a little bit quicker. Pass through the middle. Grachev takes it from Clark, steps in through the middle, leaves it for Hodgson. Out in front, Peluso on the doorstep, had his stick corralled by Subban. Nice job by PK Subban to get in the way of Anthony Peluso. Peluso's going to the box as he just drops Subban in the corner. And a little bit of embellishment never hurts for PK Subban.
He's going to get 4
he goes
here,
down,
Doug.
and that is a penalty.
He's going to get 4, partner. He hooked him, and that was the initial call. And after the hook, Peluso kept on going. I believe it's going to be 4. It's 2 for hooking, and yeah, 2 for roughing. So a huge opportunity now as we get a look at this last Peluso opportunity. This is just some good defense here from PK Subban. Tying up the stick of Anthony Peluso, and play continues. There's the hook. And then the shove afterwards, and Peluso, I guess, just kind of went to the well one too many times, if you will.
You know what? With this much time left on the clock in the second period, that's a bit of an undisciplined penalty from the battalion. Tansky's got Duchene joining the fray, leaves it out front. Duchene backhand, missed the net. Penalty coming against the Bulls when they touch this. That'll even it up as going off will be Brandon Mashinter. And Mashinter's going to the box. 14 minutes left in the second, so that'll go 4 skaters aside.
Yeah, it's actually going to be Brian Cameron, Doug, going to the box for that hook right there on Matt Duchene. And, you know, I think if you're the Bulls, you may take that one, because that stopped Duchene really from getting any kind of elevation on that shot. He was looking to go upstairs on Murphy. Cameron with the little hook, so...
Especially the way the battalion power play's been going. 2 for 28 coming into this game.
Yeah, and they ended up they got one tonight finally in that first period. They got the goal from Duchene, so evens it up at 4 skaters apiece. Brian Cameron with the hook on that Duchene.
And at 4 skaters apiece, there's lots of room out on the ice for the battalion to work. They have a very quick and skilled team. At the side of the net, Duchene lost that one. Has to hurry to get back along the boards. It comes. Silas dishes up for Tanaka through the blue line. Mashner, nice job to stay on side. Clark takes his man out in the corner. Nice job by Clark cutting off that pass to the front of the net. At Duchene. Up for Matt Kang. Kang going wide, a little inside out move, and Malone is there to strip him of the puck and get it back for PK Subban. Pither. Good speed through the neutral zone. Pither, top of the circle, telegraphed that one, and Clark got the stick on it to deflect it high and out of play.
And as you mentioned, Doug, with the 4-on-4 and the more room out on the ice, you'll see Grachev come on with Hodgson now, but before that we had Kang and Matt Duchene. Two real speedsters who've got great puck control, so that's a big reason for it, but we will play 4-on-4 for at least the next minute 19 before the Bulls go back on the power play with Anthony Peluso getting 4 for that sequence with PK Subban.
Battalion have yet to get a shot on goal here in the second period of play. Sharp angle shot. Rebound as Murphy got that one. Day tries to keep it at the blue line. Pither, pass through the middle, broken up by Day. And Clark will retreat to pick it up. So a big shot from the sharp angle from Evgeny Grachev. Hodgson stopping inside his own zone. Hodgson stick handles through center now. Cody Hodgson leading the attack. Fakes the shot, goes inside out on Subban, who gets the stick up and knocks Hodgson to the ice. Nick Pajot inside his own zone. 44 seconds left in 4-on-4 hockey. Palmieri shot to the front of the net, broke it up. Rebound, hit a stick, and goes high and out of play.
That could have been a very dangerous play. Nice job by Matt Clark getting the stick down to deflect that Palmieri shot. And with the way he's been playing, that stick is on fire right now for Nick Palmieri. 7 goals in the last 3 games. The puck just bounced right onto his stick, but Matt Clark able to run a little bit of interference, and it goes high over Thomas McCollum as we get a look at the last Battalion opportunity with Grachev and that quick wrister. That's his 4th or 5th shot here already tonight, Doug. So the big Russian's been a force for the Battalion.
Peroff overskates it, has to backpedal. Albert through the middle. He hits a streaking Jason Dale at center. Dale going one-on-one around Subban, the backhand. Kicked away by Murphy. Stajan plays it in the corner. Coming back out for Stajan was Dale's pass, and Lalonde will take it away for the Bulls and gather it up inside his own zone. Play at the center ice. Tip-off has it broken up by him. Back the other way. Dale gets it deep. Full line change from the Battalion again. The 4-on-4 is over as Brian Cameron is back on the ice. Lalonde plays it through the middle, and Clark steps up in the play and dishes it out of the way. That deflected and goes out of play, so face-off will be around center ice. .41 left in Peluso's 4-minute penalty.
On the Belleville power play will get back to work, as you mentioned, Doug. Looking to get back on even terms as Brandon Mashinder getting the goal here in the second period early on to cut the lead from Luke Judson and Corey Tanaka. Offsetting those first period goals from Jason Dale and Max Duchene. 2-1 Battalion is where we stand.
Has anybody had a hotter stick in this Eastern Conference Championship Series than Nick Palmieri?
I don't think so. You remember the Ovechkin when he got the 50th? The kind of little celebration there? I mean, really, and Palmieri's been absolutely...
He hasn't done that yet.
No, and I would advise against that considering the reaction that Ovechkin got. But I'll tell you what, Doug, Palmieri has delivered in spades for this team here in this round of the playoffs. Through the whole playoffs, really, but especially here in this Eastern Conference final.
Thorne turns it and sends it down the ice. 1:12 left in Peluso's penalty, and again, a fresh line change from the Battalion. Here comes Subban, wheeling it up through center. Big long strides. PK Subban around 2 defenders, going wide. Subban dishes on, has it behind the net. Jay trying to take him out of the play. Subban goes down, and the Battalion clear it all the way down the ice. What a solo effort from PK Subban.
Yeah, and I was going to say, Doug, we talked about off the top of the broadcast that PK Subban, we talked about him playing 40 minutes plus last night, in and around that number. He certainly hasn't shown any kind of fatigue so far. We're nearly halfway through this hockey game.
Coach George Burnett last night for the final 3 periods of that hockey game, a 3-2 double overtime win over the Battalion. Went with 4 defensemen.
That is something, I'll tell you what. But hey, in an instance where your season's on the line, you certainly want your go-to guys, your veterans, your best players, and that's certainly what George Burnett did. Had the faith in those guys, and they ended up coming through with a double overtime win.
Here's a break. Palmieri right out in front, goes to the back, and he scores! Nick Palmieri tying the game.
Well, just what we talked about, Doug, is anybody had a hotter stick than Nick Palmieri in this series. And on the power play, the Belleville Bulls draw even at 2 on a puck that was bouncing towards McCollum. I thought at first McCollum might come out, decided to stay in the net. He gets backed in, and Palmieri goes to the backhand, gets his 8th goal now in the last 4 games, his 13th of the playoffs overall. And we have ourselves a brand new hockey game here in Brampton, nearly halfway through the second period. We've got ourselves a 2-2 tie.
Right in front, McCollum goes down. Albert has the puck for the Battalion. Plays it through the middle. Carrick over for Kang. Kang cuts back across the blue line. Throws it in the far corner for Duchene. Carrick jumps on into the corner, and Carrick tries to give it back to Kang. Working the puck over are the Belleville Bulls' Corey Tanaka. He'll get it to center. Albert backpedals now. Almost gave it away as Luke Judson was right on top of him. Boy, Brad Albert certainly languishing with the puck inside his own zone. Almost got burned. And taken out of the play by Carrick. When Sam Carrick's had the opportunity for the Battalion, he has been a physical presence up front. 9:33 left here in the second. A 2-2 tie, Nick Palmieri. Who else has both goals for the Belleville Bulls?
Yeah, Palmieri's been something else, Doug. As I mentioned, his 13th of the playoffs overall, and we're back on even terms. Battalion really need to regroup here as the momentum has swung the Bulls' way. Another look at our OHL Primetime Playoff Trivia Challenge. What is the longest game in Battalion history? Pretty cut and dry, right to the point. What's the longest game in Battalion history? RogersTV.com/trivia challenge. All the details, a chance to win some great prizes, great wireless products from the people at Rogers. We'll have the answer for you in the third period. Speaking of answers, the Battalion need one, Doug, big time, as the Belleville Bulls, and good on them. You got to give them credit. The Battalion get the 2 goals in the first period. This crowd here is jacked up, really into the game, and it took that first period to settle down, but we've talked about it throughout the course of the series, Doug. This is a veteran team in the Eastern Conference Finals. Again, they're not going to go down without a fight.
When they've been successful against Mike Murphy in the Belleville Bulls net, it's when they've had bodies in front of Murphy and traffic around Murphy. When they're successful, that's when the Battalion are crashing the net. And they're going to get another opportunity right here. Going back to the power play as the Belleville Bulls will go to the box. That's Stephen Johnston for tripping, and the Brampton Battalion power play comes back to the ice.
Yeah, a real opportunity here, as you mentioned, Doug, is Nick Palmieri tying this game at 2 after the Battalion had a 2-0 lead after 1. 9:24 to go in the second, and the Battalion can certainly get charged back up again here, as well as the crowd, if they can take the lead.
Hodgson with the shot from the point. It hits a skate and goes wide. Day will keep it in the corner. Peluso working it over. Duchene comes in to help out. Nice job by Duchene. Beats it back for Josh Day. Duchene on the far side. Grachev looking to go back out top. Grachev slides it back up top to Day. Day with Cody Hodgson sliding deep, and Grachev breaks a stick. Hodgson turning away. Cody Hodgson inside out on Corey Tanaka. Hodgson lugging it down low. Subban watching him. Hodgson puts the shoulder down. Skates with the puck. Peluso back for Day. Hodgson keeps it in at the blue line. Day tees it up. Sharp angle shot. Rebound. Duchene tips it wide. No traffic again in front of Murphy. Long shot. This time Subban breaks it up and clears the zone.
No, you're right, Doug. No traffic whatsoever. Duchene got a rebound, but on that last wrist shot from Cody Hodgson, Mike Murphy saw that easily.
Hodgson stalled at the blue line. Tanaka with the forecheck. Grachev at center now. Evgeny Grachev. Battalion. Unsustained pressure inside of Belleville territory. They're able to move the puck along the perimeter, but aren't getting the big chances in front of Mike Murphy. Duchene twisting and turning, fakes the shot, cuts to the middle, leaves it. There's Peroff's shot. Murphy makes the save. Rebound. Knocked down. Grachev going high, and it's knocked down again by Murphy. Peroff can't keep it in at the blue line, and the faceoff will stay inside of Belleville territory. They're showing it inside. We'll see if they bring it back outside. 24 seconds left, and Johnston's penalty.
Well, right idea there, Doug, on that last chance in front of Mike Murphy. Matt Kang with himself parked in front of the Belleville netminder and causing a little havoc in front of the net, unable to get it by Murphy. 24 seconds remaining on this power play.
Pajot tries to clear it. Albert pinches in. Tip-off takes Albert out of the play. Sam Carrick gets it back for Scott Tansky. Tansky up top. Peroff slides it down low for Kang. Very perimeter play from the Battalion on the power play. Kang for Albert. Back for Peroff through the middle. Wrist shot goes wide. Backhand from Tansky. Murphy makes the save. Tansky follows up, getting it over to Kang, and Johnston's out of the box. Kang. Little dipsy doodle gets through traffic, still has the puck to the front of the net. Bouncing puck is cleared to the near side. Here's Tanaka, 3-on-2 for Belleville. Tip off to the front of the net. Tip off, cuts through traffic, going wide into the corner. Peroff is down. Is he hurt? He's back on his feet. And Tip-off puts the shoulder down. Peroff working behind the net on Matt Tip-off. Albert pokes the puck away. Johnston takes the hit from Albert. To the far side it goes. Peroff lets it go. Tanaka cracks at it, and Tansky chops at it and gets it back through the neutral zone. This line is drained for the Battalion. They've got to get off. Subban has the puck. One man back is Albert. Albert to the front of the net. McCollum on the doorstep. Takes one away from Pither. Here comes Stajan. He's got Dale and Thorne. Stajan Right to the front of the net, looking for Jason Dale. Dale turning away from Subin. Dale in traffic. Been a long shift for Subin. He lets him go. Stajan trying to get away from Mashinter. Palmieri, outlet pass for Pither on the fly at center. 6:04 left here in the second. Pither to the front of the net. That wild shot goes wide. Canton rather pitches up. Canton puts it behind the net. Erickson goes after it for the Battalion. He's able to clear it along the boards, but Pajot gets it back to the front of the net. Backhand, they score! Nick Palmieri finishes off the natural hat trick.
Wow, what a turn of events here, Doug, in the second period. And moments before that goal from Palmieri, the Battalion got caught on a line change, nearly a 4-on-1. And Montcalm came up with a huge stop, but the Bulls, who've been all over the Battalion here in this second period, and there's Nick Palmieri left alone in front of the net. As initially Matt Clark tried to block the shot, wasn't able to get enough of it. As we get another look at it right here, squirts loose to Palmieri, and he dribbles one past Thomas McCollum, and I'm telling you, unbelievable turn of events here in the second period as Palmieri snipes to give the Bulls a 3-2 lead.
In this second period, it looks like the Battalion defenders are just squeezing the sticks a little bit too much, trying to make perfect plays, and that's been costing them here in the midway part of this hockey game. Merritt through the middle, out there with Hodgson and Grachev. So Palmieri with 2 goals. I had him as 3, but forgetting that Mashner got the first goal. 5:12 left here in the second period at the side of the net. Josh Day has to work it over. And really, it looks like the Battalion are on their heels. Teed up, rifle shot. McCollum makes the save. Oh my, Thomas McCollum comes up huge.
Battalion completely back on their heels, Doug. Nearly 4-2, and they're really just desperate now to get out of this period. It's looking like here, a 1-goal lead now for Belleville.
Too many bodies standing still yet again for the Battalion. This is a lot of what we saw in Game 2, where the Belleville Bulls dominated for 38 minutes of hockey, and the Battalion came through with a victory. Tansky has the puck. Outlet pass through the middle, bouncing puck. Scooped up by Duchene, trying to get around Pajot. Duchene works it to the front of the net. Duchene out in front for Tansky, swept away by Johnston. Lalone to Johnson on the far side. Lalone heads to the front of the net. There's Cameron with the shot, and that hit the man coming back and bounces away into the corner. Too many open opportunities for Belleville as they're taking the play right to the Battalion. 4:04 left here in the second period. The Battalion forward lines are looking a little gassed right now.
Well, you talked about it, Doug, possibly a fatigue factor with that double overtime game, but the Bulls certainly look like they've got fresh legs right now.
I was going to say, 2 teams played that double overtime.
And I'll tell you what, just certain turn of events here in the second period. As I mentioned, the Battalion getting those 2 goals in the first really got the crowd into it. Everything going their way, but again, credit to the Belleville Bulls. They get that early goal from Mashinter, and then Nick Palmieri coming back with 2. That's 9 goals now in the last 4 games for Nick Palmieri, 14 overall in these Ontario Hockey League playoffs. So full value to the Bulls here for this comeback, but the Battalion got to search for an answer quick. Chance to close things out on home ice here tonight.
Jason Dale with the sharp angle shot. That hit PK Subban in front. Loose puck in the corner. Mashner plays it behind the net for Canton. Takes the hit from Stajan. Peroff comes over to get his body in the way of Luke Judson. Dale trying to step out of the corner. Mashner got the stick down to clear that one away. 3 minutes, 23 seconds left here in the second period of play. Battalion being outshot 23-17 and have only had 6 shots on goal here in the second period.
Yeah, and really it is, Doug, a real carbon copy of what we saw back in Game 4. The Belleville Bulls had the advantage in the opportunity department, and that's certainly what they've had here in the second period, and they've come back to take a 3-2 advantage. And really it just comes down to Doug, the Battalion have just stopped skating. They've been caught flat-footed in their own end. The Belleville Bulls have completely carried the play. They look like the fresher team right now. The face-off department has been controlled by Belleville as well. The number of opportunities has been Belleville. So really it's full value here for the victory, and the battalion need to find a way to get back to their ways in the first.
In front, Peluso with an opportunity. Couldn't bury it behind Mike Murphy. Hodgson battling at center with Palmieri. Takes it away. Cody Hodgson. Wrist shot deflected high and wide.
And of course, when you talk about what the battalion have done on home ice, Doug, 4 regulation losses in 34 games during the regular season. They've only lost once here in the playoffs. That was a game 3 in the second round against the Mississauga St. Michael's Majors. So really it all sets up nicely for you if the battalion, but you got to go out and play the games.
Grachev in the corner. Gets away from Ken. Grachev still has it. Ken watching Grachev. Slipped through the middle. Hodgson couldn't get it as it was poked away from him in the final seconds of trying to get the shot away. 2:45 left here in the second period. Around the boards it comes. Tanaka and Peluso tied up. Tanaka gets it deep. Day steps up, and it goes up into the Belleville Bull bench.
And we saw in that last sequence with Cody Hodgson in front of the net, just some nice work by the Belleville Bulls in front of the net, interrupting his flow, so he was unable to get a shot away. And that's what I like what Belleville's done here in the second as well. They've played good team defense. Everybody's got back. Everybody's been responsible. They've really closed the gaps and minimized the chances for the Brampton Battalion.
Off the draw. Out in front. Big kick save off Brian Cameron from Thomas McCollum. So we saw it earlier, a big save from Mike Murphy led to a Belleville Bulls goal. Well, this time it's McCollum's turn to come up with a huge pad save. Albert tips it back to center. Tansky leaves it for Duchene. Across the blue line, he has Kang with him. Slips it down in the corner. Pajot takes Kang out of the way. Duchene goes after it. Malone in front. Tansky! Oh my, just missed the glove side.
What an opportunity. Shoots high.
Peroff and Cameron in the corner. Peroff battling with Cameron. Loose puck. Buck 47 left here in the second. Peroff comes away with it. Good solid work in his own zone from Ken Peroff. Jason Dale with a burst of speed at center. He'll send it deep around PK Subban. Subban holds off Dale and goes after the puck. One hands it up along the boards. Judson flipped past to Pither through center. Wide side, Mashner's shot. He rifled it wide. Stajan trying to get it ahead. Works it along the board. Stajan tips it up for Thorne and broken up by Subban. Taken away by Dale. Sharp angle for Dale. Hangs on to the puck. Jason Dale puts it behind the net for Stefan Thorne. For Thomas Stajan. Out in front. Tipped by Dale just wide. How did he find so much time and space behind the Belleville defenders? 1 minute left here in the second period. Thorne for Dale, back to Thorne. Dale working it over in the corner. And this third line of the battalion have been so strong. Hodgson throws it back to the point. There's the wrist shot from Erickson, deflected just wide. Thorne goes after it now. Back down low for Cody Hodgson. Kent watching Hodgson, knocks it away. Thorne steps up, plays it in the corner. He'll head off to the bench. That one's finally cleared down the ice, and icing will be called. No, it's waved off. They say a battalion player coming on the ice touched it. 25 seconds left in the second period. Brad Albert leads the attack. Up for Cody Hodgson. He steps to center and plays it in the near corner. Murphy behind the net leaves it, and Subban pounds it around the boards. Grachev can't get to it. It gets tied up in the linesman. That frees up Nick Palmieri, but Grachev is there to take it away. Hodgson through the middle, broken up, and played by Lalone deep in the battalion end. That'll do it for the second period of play as the Belleville Bulls dominate period number 2 and tally 3 times.
Yeah, they certainly did, Doug. Dominated all facets of the game at both ends of the ice, and they get 2 goals from Nick Palmieri, who continues to be hot. Brandon Mashinger got it all started. They overcome a 2-0 deficit with 3 straight, and they've got a 1-goal lead heading to the third period of Game 6.
We're coming back with more of OHL Primetime on Rogers TV. 3-2 the Belleville Bulls leading over the Brampton Battalion. Stay with us as Brad Albert joins Mark Heron in studio.
Welcome back to OHL Primetime. The Belleville Bulls lead 3-2 after 2 periods of play. And, well, we don't have Brad Albert. We've kind of preempted him, and I apologize for Brad, but the native son returns. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Wojtek Wolski here in the studio. Wojtek, thank you so much for joining us. And first of all, welcome back. We were talking a little bit. This is your first time back. How does it feel?
That feels good. It's nice to see that Brampton's doing so well this year, and it's nice to see the building's full.
Do you watch it online? Do you keep up to date with your old junior club team a little bit?
Of late, I have been. Once I saw that they were doing pretty well, and even when we were in Vancouver, I remember watching a game. It was all across Canada, so I got to pick it up. But I've been checking in here and there.
Not much hype around this team since 05-06 when you left, and that amazing run you guys went on. They broke your winning streak. Did you know that?
I didn't know that, but it's good to see they're breaking records. Hopefully, they don't break any of mine, but I'm happy for them.
Yeah, your club, your streak. Remember the 14 games at the end? Well, they rattled off 16 in a row, just to let you know. But anyway, just to keep you up to date. But obviously, you're checking out the game. What are your thoughts so far in this one? It seems to be a good one.
Yeah, they're playing really well. I think they got to capitalize on those power plays, and they've obviously taken some penalties that they maybe shouldn't have. But I think they're going to have a good third, and then they'll probably end up winning. Oh, there you go. There's some expert analysis from Wolski. Obviously, Colorado Avalanche. You've been there for 3 years now, and how's life treating you in Denver? It's nice. It's a great city. I've really enjoyed meeting new people and moving there. But we've had a tough season this year, and I think with all the injuries, the summer's going to give some time for guys to just recover and get ready for next season. How do you spend your off season? Is it mostly working out, or do you take a bit of a breather? I usually take a bit of a breather. In past years, I traveled a little. This year, I had such a disappointing season that I'm already starting to work out and trying to get ready and just spend more time with friends and family in Mississauga. Obviously, last time we saw you in here, as I mentioned, was that playoff run when you lost to Barrie in the semifinals in the Eastern Conference. And I'll never forget it. You and Lucha Quino, what a combination you were, and that last interview you did in here. And you know what, you guys were just so exhausted. But what are some of the fond memories that you remember playing here? I remember that last year was just so much fun because we won so many games. And whenever you're winning, you have such a great time. And I'm sure, they're having a lot of fun this year. And they've obviously, won a lot more games than we did. But I think that's the biggest thing is just remembering how to win, especially with the season that we had in Colorado this year. It's not fun when you're losing. Yeah, well, you know what? You got a shot at number 3 overall, and there are kind of rumblings about Duchene maybe going in the top 3. Have you given it some thought of maybe having him as on your team as well? Yeah, I've been looking at his play. He looks very, very quick and very strong on the puck, which is great. And I think, we'd love to have him in Colorado. No question about it, and I think he wouldn't mind going out there as well. But we won't get ahead of ourselves. We'll just see how the chips fall where they may. Wojtek, man, a pleasure having you back. It's wonderful seeing you. Look great, and thank you so much for joining us in the studio here today. Oh, thanks a lot. Wojtek Wolski of the Colorado Avalanche, no longer the Brampton Battalion. His former team down by a goal after 2 periods of play. We'll be right back on OHL Primetime right now.
Welcome back to OHL Primetime. Another edition of Game Notes brought to you by Easton. The Battalion lead the series 3-2, but they are down 3-2 in this game. We're pleased to be joined right now with Doug and Scott upstairs. And guys, I'll just quickly ask you about the game that you guys are watching. And you see that Belleville bounces back nicely in the second period. What is Brampton going to have to do to try to get back in this in the third?
Well, you know what, Mark? They got to start skating. They got to start moving their feet. The pass is coming out from the defenders inside their own zone. They're hitting guys on the tape, but the guys are standing still. And one of the big things the Battalion need to do is get more bodies in front of Mike Murphy when they are in the offensive zone. For the Belleville Bulls, quite simply, play the third period like you played the second period, much like you did in the first 38 minutes of game number 4. They thoroughly dominated the second period on the score sheet, on the shot clock, and boards to boards.
Yeah, Doug, you know, we were just talking off camera, Mark, actually, Doug and I, and this game eerily reminiscent of the first about 37, 38 minutes of game 4 where Belleville thoroughly dominated. That second period was anyway. I mean, it was just really a tale of two periods. And again, you know, we talked about it. The Brampton Battalion came out here in this first period. They really established themselves. They get that 2-0 lead to get the crowd into the game. They're all worked up. And in the second period, I mean, let's just be honest. They really just fell asleep for all intents and purposes. As Doug said, they stopped skating. They lost the face-off battle. And you know what? Let's give credit to Thomas McCollum there. He made some big saves after the Bulls went up 3-2. This game could be 4-2, 5-2 right now, and the Battalion could be staring themselves a huge deficit. Instead, they're lucky to be down just one.
And Nick Palmieri keeps rolling, Mark.
Oh, boy, does he ever. As I was talking to Sean Lalonde in the first intermission about the fact, I don't think I've seen a roll like this in quite some time, especially in the postseason. But obviously there's some OHL news going on. Chris Terry wins the Humanitarian of the Year award out in Plymouth. Why is that significant? Number one, we know Chris Terry had a terrific season off the ice and on the ice as well. And, you know, Brampton native, good for him.
Outstanding for him, actually, and it couldn't happen to a nicer guy. And you know what? A lot of people don't realize a lot of the work that OHL players and a lot of things they do off the ice to be a part of their community. And for some guys, going to a community, like you said, he's a Brampton native, going to the Plymouth community and becoming a big part of that community. And the Humanitarian of the Year award is well-deserved for Chris Terry.
Yeah, Doug, you said it right there. You know, with all these awards they give out at the end of the year, sometimes those kind of awards might get lost in the shuffle when you talk about the Player of the Year, the Red Tilson Award, and the Executive of the Year, and so on and so forth. But, you know, this great for Chris Terry, as Doug mentioned, you know, the work that these kids do put in for the communities and really how tightly the communities are tied to the hockey teams is very important. Good for Chris Terry, obviously a Brampton native here. So, you know, he did great work off the ice and on the ice as well, turning around a Plymouth Whalers team, obviously, to a great second half and a nice showing in the playoffs. So good for Chris Terry, as Doug said.
Yeah, just some of the highlights of it. Became a Whalers lead ambassador, appearing at countless public events, including hospital visits, learn to skate programs, and other unscheduled appearances. And I'll never forget the story about the ALS victim that he met and befriended, and really was there by his side until the very end. And you know, it's from personal experience, that's extremely touching from my point of view anyway, of Chris Terry. And I mentioned that to him when I had him in the interview room in here in the Plymouth Whalers. And certainly he went above and beyond the call of duty, and just a reward right there. And certainly some other awards as well. Ryan Ellis getting the Defenseman of the Year award in the Ontario Hockey League. Once again, just deserved. I mean, PK Subban, of course, having a terrific year, but really, what can you say about Ryan Ellis? I mean, he shot the lights out in Windsor. Terrific season for him.
Part of one of the best defense corps in the OHL. I'll tell you something. PK Subban had such a good year, but Ryan Ellis, for some reason, every time it counted, the kid stepped up with a big game. Anytime you looked at the score sheet, he was on there, and it wasn't just offensively. He was a big part of that team and an integral part both offensively, defensively, and on both special teams unit, and again, a well-deserved recipient.
Yeah, certainly, Doug. You know, with Ryan Ellis, you think about that big cannon he lets go from the point, and no doubt, just as much as he was defensive, very responsible defensively, he was really counted on offensively as well. And we know how many offensive weapons that Windsor Spitfire teams had. And don't kid yourself, he played on the back end, but he was certainly one of their big guns when it came to finding the back of the net. So certainly all around, defense and offense, as Doug said, Ryan Ellis couldn't think of a more deserving recipient of the award. He had a terrific season top to bottom.
And not a very big kid, but certainly has a big heart and willing to mix it up, and that sometimes is the difference.
Yeah, 67 assists. He had a plus-minus rating of 52, and that tells it all right there. And, of course, World Junior Championship to boot. He gets a gold medal. He was one of the underagers there, really. The only 17-year-old that made the team. Taylor Hall, his teammate, didn't even make it. And the reason that they brought him over was his power play specialist. But really, if you look at the numbers, a plus 52, that's outstanding for a kid his size. 5'9", as you guys said, but you can definitely not question his heart. And, great season for him. And talk about the Whalers, obviously they're waiting for whoever gets decided out of the East. Obviously, they're just licking their chops right now, waiting for this one to end.
Yeah, you know what, Mark? You know what's happening? Windsor Spitfires are sitting back going, I hope it goes 7, and I hope it goes double overtime in the Game 6 and Game 7, because they want as much hockey played as possible before the Eastern Conference champion heads west to take on the Windsor Spitfires. And whoever one of these two teams go out there, one of the both things that these two teams have that might be a little on the shy side from the West is goaltending. Both goaltenders here in tonight's matchup and throughout this series can really be a difference maker if they get to the OHL Championship Series.
Yeah, I think depending on which one of these teams goes on to play Windsor, certainly I would agree with Doug. The goaltending advantage, in my view, would come out of the East. But, man, this Windsor Spitfire team is just so dangerous. They have so many weapons. And, look at that Western Conference final against the London Knights. The London Knights had steamrolled their way through the postseason while the Windsor Spitfires had a bit of work to do. And they clashed, and I heard a lot of people, in and around the hockey world saying, that they thought London could really give Windsor a good charge. Every game did go to overtime, don't get me wrong. But the Windsor Spitfires, time in, time out, 4 of the 5 times, came out the victor. So they're certainly, as Doug said, licking their chops, ready to go, and they have an offensive firehouse ready in Windsor for Game 1.
And to finish up on that, a little adversity never hurt anybody when you're making a run.
That's right.
To the Memorial Cup.
No question about it, but it's a team of destiny as well. I mean, everybody knows that, it can go either way in overtime. And Windsor wins 4 out of the 5 games in overtime, London with the other one. But appreciate it, guys. That wraps up this edition of Easton Game Notes. When we come back, we will have more on the second intermission, including our play of the period, scoring summary, and lots more. Stick around. The Bulls lead 3-2. Welcome back to OHL Primetime. Play the period comes courtesy of Nick Palmieri. He gets the third goal there to make it 3-2 for the Belleville Bulls. Nick Paggio getting the only assist on that marker, and Nat made it 3-2. And that is where we stand after 2 periods of play. There you see Nick Palmieri in front of the net there, just flicking it past Thomas McCollum. And there you see the scoring summary in the second period. Brandon Master got Belleville going from Luke Judson and Corey Tanaka at 1:15. Nick Palmieri at 9:34 in the power play from Subban and Mike Murphy, and Palmieri again at 14:14 from Nick Paggio. There you see the schedule for the rest of this series, which means that if Belleville can hang on here and win this one, it will go to a Game 7, and that will be in Belleville at the Yardman Arena on Sunday, April 26th. That will start at 7:15 p.m. There you see Nick Palmieri, the 2-goal scorer, and having a heck of a series, as Doug Anderson and Scott Hart said. His team up 3-2 after 2 periods of play, and there you see Thomas McCollum Another stellar night in the net for the Brampton goaltender. We're going to throw it upstairs right now to Scott and Doug for the call of the third period. Gentlemen.
You know, Scott, back in game 4, you and I saw Mike Murphy go down and looked like he pulled a groin. Well, ever since then, he's been nothing short of spectacular, and you got to wonder if maybe pulling a groin sometimes isn't that big of a deal for a star goaltender.
He's been pulled a groin?
Oh, man, I tell you something.
And you know what, Doug? I was going to say, I want to mention that tonight. For sure, you're right. It looked like he might have hurt his leg, tweaked the groin there on that play, you know, when the Battalion had that great comeback in game 4. But you're right. I mean, didn't seem to show any ill effects of it last night whatsoever in a 54-save performance, and he's made some huge stops here tonight. 1-goal game, and I'll tell you, for the Battalion, a chance to close this thing out on home ice. If you're going to pick a time to lay it out on the line, time to do it is now.
And we've said it so many times before, the first 5 minutes of this period will tell the story as to who wants it the most. Dale leaves it for Clark, up for Grachev, back for Dale. Dale now skating on the line with Cody Hodgson. Throws it out in front. Hodgson can't bat it out of midair. Back the other way. Palmieri has it. Delayed offside, blown down, 25 seconds into the third period of play. When's the last time you've seen the Battalion averaging 9 shots in a period? Only 18 shots through 2 periods of play.
Yeah, no question about that, Doug. Belleville Bulls out shooting them 13-9 in the first and 11-9 in the second. 24-18 overall, and as we said, full value for this comeback for the Bulls. They put behind them that rough first period and came out and dominated the second. They've got themselves a 1-goal lead here.
Perroff goes after the puck inside his own zone. Ken Perroff looking to get out of his own end, and Judson knocks him down. Loose puck gets by Tanaka to Tansky. Tansky throws it through the middle. Duchene rolling puck, backhand. Murphy makes the save, they clear it. Penalty coming. And I believe it's going against the Battalion. Indeed it is.
Yeah, I think...
is it the Battalion or is it Corey Tanaka going on? No, it is Corey Tanaka going to the box, so the Battalion will go to the power play.
Well, I thought at first they were going to call goaltender interference on Mike Murphy there too. Stephon Thorne fell down and went into him. And then after that, it seemed the referee right away made the call. Here is a look at it. And, well, they're calling Tanaka. He pushed Thorne into Mike Murphy, so... it's Tanaka that's going to the box, and nonetheless, huge opportunity for the Battalion, especially one of Belleville's best penalty killers in the sin bin.
Lalone puts it behind the net. Tip-off. Along the boards, tied up with Hodgson. Comes to the blue line. Grachev keeps it in. Grachev getting away from tip-off. Out to Hodgson. Quick shot right on, and Murphy makes the save.
Easy save there from Mike Murphy, Doug. You mentioned it a couple of times in the second period. Got to get bodies in traffic in front of Murphy. That's what they did in the first when they were successful. Got away from that in the second. Need to get back to those ways here on this power play.
Lalone puts it behind the net. Subban will pick it up on the near side and get it to the blue line, but not out. Josh Day keeps it in. Subban follows up and gets it through the center ice area. PK Subban. Good solid effort in his own zone. 30 seconds gone in the power play. Here come the Battalion. Matt Duchene winding it up at center, has to stop. Josh Day follows up. Turning away, a couple of forecheckers. Day gets it up to Grachev. Grachev around Lalone. Grachev wide around, looking for Peluso, who sets up in front. Back up top to Josh Day. Slides it to Cody Hodgson. Day. The shooters are too high for the Battalion. Grachev to the front of the net. That hits a man, they send it down the ice.
Well, that's a shot just in too much traffic there, Doug. 3 white shirts standing in front of Anthony Peluso. No way that was getting through.
Josh Day to Cody Hodgson. Hodgson hangs onto it. Back up top. Tansky couldn't get the shot away. Rebound, Kang. Duchene scores! Matt Duchene tying the game on the power play. His second goal of the game. It's 3-3.
We talked about how important it was here, Doug, in the opening 5 minutes of the third for the Battalion to come out with a response after a very, very, very lackluster second period, and they get their second power play goal of the night, something that's been hurting all over the place. And Mike Murphy just simply got caught out of position there. I think he got thrown off a bit, really, on the Tansky whiff. He kind of fanned on it. Murphy moved over in that direction. Puck ends up working his way back to Matt Duchene, and really, he had an open side there to put it by Mike Murphy, but Matt Duchene, you talk about having a hot stick for the Battalion. His 12th of the playoffs. Matt Duchene gets the Battalion back on even terms. Huge, huge goal in the third. And the crowd back into this one.
McCollum almost got caught out of his net. Albert plays it up for Sam Carrick. Carrick through the middle, hits Thomas Stajan. chips it off the board. Station goes after Kang. Kang behind the net. Station puts him in the end boards and ties up Pajot. Kang lets it go to Carrick. Kang and Carrick playing a little give and go. Carrick follows it up along the boards, shoots it wide, and Staging goes after it as Canton ties him up on the near side. Albert pinned along the boards as well. Brad Albert comes away with it, steps out in front, can't get the shot away. Kang's got to hurry to try to catch up to Mackey. He does take the puck away, blown down. We got a hooking call, and it's going against the Battalion. And I believe it's Matt Kang going to the box, and he's certainly upset.
It certainly is on the call by referee Craig Spada, but it's 2 for hooking for Matt Kang. So just as quickly as the Battalion draw even at 3, Matt Kang, and there's a look at it right there. That was the call.
Again, a borderline call, but like you said earlier, pal, we don't wear the striped jerseys.
You know, the refs have let him play for most of the night, and I hope that continues here in the third.
Hodgson clears the zone and gets it back to the neutral zone. Malone has to retreat and pick it up.
But you're right, nothing you can do. But if you're the Battalion, important to have a solid kill here. You got the momentum back in your favor. You want to give the Bulls the lead again.
Subban winds it up at center, gets around Erickson. Tip off through the corner now. Hodgson works it with his man. Sharp angle shot. Back to Subban up top. Lets it go. Kick save from McCollum. Lalonde has it. He throws it through the crease.
Jason Dale without his stick now, Doug.
Yep, Dale lost his stick at the top of the slot. Dale gets back to the bench, gets a stick. There's a shot fired wide. Subban tries to keep it in. Hodgson will pick it up and he'll clear the zone. Cody Hodgson going one-on-one, gets around the defender. Hodgson right in, kick save from Murphy. Rebound shot just wide. Duchene to the front of the net. High shot over top. Hodgson, after a lengthy shift, will head off. Duchene back checking. Here comes Pither through center now. Pither leaves it at the blue line for Palmieri. Lalonde jumps in. Grachev pokes it away. Duchene takes it. It's a 2-on-2. Right on, and Murphy saw that one all the way. Gathers it up, and 47 seconds remains in the Bulls' power play, but more important for the Battalion, face-off deep inside of Belleville territory.
How about this solo effort from Cody Hodgson, Doug? Just picking up speed through the neutral zone, getting one good opportunity, then sending it through the crease, killing valuable seconds, if nothing else, off this Belleville penalty kill. Very dangerous moments before that. Jason Dale, without a stick, got caught running around. Battalion were able to weather that storm, and then Cody came back the other way and nearly had the go-ahead goal.
Pair off Albert on the point. Duchene, Grachev up front. Mashinder and Cameron up front for the Bulls. Tanaka out there as well. 36 seconds left in the power play. Duchene working it over in the corner. Back to the point. Perrock with the shot. Kicked aside by Murphy. Grachev takes the hit from Tanaka. Mashinder brings it up the ice. Through center. Sends it deep. McCollum way out of his net to play the puck. Sweeps it around the boards. Tanaka lets it go to the blue line. Silas stepping right in. Cross ice pass for Tanaka. Tanaka back to the point. Silas can't hold the blue line. That'll do it for the penalty to Kang. 3 seconds left. He's back on the ice. 15-12 left here in the third period. We're tied at 3 and the crowd reacts as Matt Kang is back on the ice. Mashinder puts it back to the blue line, picked off by Stefan Thorne. He's got Kang, can't get him the puck through the middle. Kang was behind the defenseman. Kang right in quickly, on the back end, turning away, tries to feed it out to Thorne. Murphy steers it aside. Kang twisting and turning away from Silas. Looking for Duchene coming into the slot. Thorne working it back to Kang. Back for Thorne down low. Leaves it for Kang, who jumps through the top. Kang dishes on. Day jumps up in the play. Duchene goes after it. Trying to slip the check. Duchene getting around Pajot, twisting and turning to the back end. Turnaround shot. Hits a body and goes wide. Thorne working it over, and boy, Stefan Thorne gets it through the top of the slot. Mashinter's there to send it down the ice. That'll be icing as it goes by McCollum. Bring it all the way back and set it up inside Belleville's backyard.
You said it, partner.
the first 5 minutes of this period. I'll mention it again, how important it was for the battalion, and they've certainly responded early on. They get that equalizer, and they continue to press. Terrific penalty kill there. They really spent the majority of it in the Belleville zone, and they had the better of the chances.
And 7-2 the shots on goal in the first 5 minutes and 32 seconds of this third period of play for the battalion. That's been the difference. It's 25-25 on the Royal LePage shot clock. On the far side, pass through the middle. Mackey lets it go. McCollum out of his net to play it. He got caught. Peluso comes back to help out. Albert. Cameron has lost his stick. Peluso on the near side. Puck knocked away from him. Albert steps up, but Erickson has to retreat and pick it up for the battalion. Johnston watching him. Erickson looking for the long pass, tried to force it through traffic. Tip-off got a piece of that, and it goes all the way down the ice. Battalion making a complete line change. Almost broken up at center, and that pass was intended for Cody Hodgson, who was behind the two defenders. Palmieri works it over, and Dale comes over to get a piece of Nick Palmieri. Josh Day behind the net for Matt Clark. Clark through the middle. Cody Hodgson leads the attack with Luke Pither. Jason Dale along the boards. Knocked away from him by Mark Kenton. Hodgson follows up. Grachev sweeps it up. They score! Cody Hodgson and the battalion have the lead 4-3. What a no-look pass from Evgeny Grachev.
And Evgeny Grachev has been huge tonight here, Doug. We talked about off the top of the broadcast that they were going to have to bring it big time tonight. And Grachev certainly has. He's had plenty of opportunities. Great work again from Jason Dale along the wall. Hodgson helps out. Puck squirts loose to Grachev. No look pass. Nobody picks up on the captain, who's all alone in front of the net. And really, is this a carbon copy of Game 4 or what? I mean, 2-0, then it was 2-1. Battalion came back. It's what we're seeing so far anyway, Doug.
Still plenty of hockey to be played, though, partner. 13-11 left.
No question about that, but that was just a terrific play, and what a game Jason Dale has played tonight here. The overager has himself a goal. Great work in behind the net to force that turnover. Grachev, gorgeous no-look to Hodgson, who was all alone on the doorstep. Battalion grab a 4-3 lead.
Could not agree with you more on the game from Jason Dale. Albert stands up at the blue line. Tansky gets it away, trying to feed it up along the boards for Duchene. Paroff's there to chip it off the glass and down the ice. Icing is called on this one. They'll bring this one back inside the battalion into the rink. So Cody Hodgson picks up his 8th goal of the playoffs.
He just kind of snuck in back door there, Doug. Absolutely untouched. And that was just an easy tap in.
And how many times, partner, have we talked about not letting your foot off the gas, though?
No question about it. And the battalion fortunate to get it revved back up again here in the third.
Thornton puts it in the corner. I mean, don't take your foot off the gas for the last 12 minutes. Duchene out of the corner. Sharp angle shot. They score! Matt Duchene with the hat trick. The battalion lead by 2, 5-3. What a play by Duchene coming out of the corner.
And what a turn of events. And Matt Duchene, absolutely, you talk about putting the pedal to the metal, Doug. Matt Duchene bringing it tonight. The hat trick, and we see some hats flow down here the ice at the Powerade Center of the battalion. 3 unanswered here in the first 7.5 minutes. 7:26 if you want to get real specific with it, to make it a 5-3 hockey game. And while the hats come down, you see the Bulls hanging their heads a little bit. They're going to want to regroup this veteran squad, but what an absolutely gorgeous effort from Matt Duchene, Doug. You said it. And he ends up being able to squeak that pass.
And a 30-second
shot through through Mike Murphy.
A 30-second timeout has been called because of all the hats raining down on the ice here at the bunker in the Powerade Center, partner. But does that give the Belleville Bulls a chance to stem this tide a little bit?
Well, certainly, and you know they're a veteran team, and we've harped on that throughout this series, but it's certainly a strong point. I think it needs to be discussed, Doug. No question about that. You know, they're a veteran team, 3rd year in a row in the Eastern Conference Finals. You know, they've been here before, down in this position. Now they're going to take time to regroup a little bit. Certainly that's a benefit to them, Doug. I would agree with you 100% on that.
With his 3 goals tonight, Matt Duchene has the club record for playoff goals for the battalion. So 12:34 left here in the 3rd period. Still a ton of time left on the clock. And you talk about the fans here in the Powerade Center being loud and boisterous and taken out of the game in the second. Well, they're right back in this one.
4,000 plus here tonight, Doug, at the Powerade Center. And man, after a very lackadaisical second period, the Battalion coming out, establishing themselves earlier here in the third. 3 unanswered goals now for a 5-3 lead. But you said it, important to keep that pedal to the metal and finish this thing now.
Staging in the corner. Kang tries to throw through the top of the slot. Johnson picks it up for the Bulls. Outlet pass on the far side. This Belleville Bulls hockey club will not go away. They've proven that time and time again. Kang throws it to center ice. Subin gets it, turns away from the check. Around Kang, and it's cleared back to the neutral zone by the Battalion's Josh Day.
How many times have you said it, Doug? A lot of hockey has to be played, and there's no question there is. Battalion needs to be careful. Don't rest on your laurels. Play within yourself. Don't get undisciplined.
Nick Palmieri on the far side, wheeling back, trying to get away from Cody Hodgson, and Clark steps up to meet him at center ice. Here's Jason Dale with Cody Hodgson to the front of the net. Hodgson tied up by Canton. Nice job by Canton to come back. Hodgson through traffic, lost control of the puck. Comes back to center, and Clark is there to play it to the open wing. Palmieri in front of his own bench. 11:25 left here in the third. Outlet pass to Canton. Battalion pick it off. Cody Hodgson's got Evgeny Grachev. Hodgson, shot right on. Murphy makes the save. Grachev leaves it for Hodgson. Going to go back up top to Clark. Picked off by Tipoff. Tansky comes back to help out. Pither through center now for the Bulls. Dishes off for Subin. Around the defender, and Grachev beats him. McCollum falls in the loose puck.
Smart play there from Thomas McCollum, not taking any chances. At the other end, Cody Hodgson, the captain, bringing it here in the third period, realizing the urgency of the situation. He's been terrific. Grachev's been terrific. Duchene's been unbelievable. The guys you've leaned upon all year coming to the forefront here, Doug, in this third period. Hodgson, if he had scored there, man, this place ever electricity, if you would have found a way to put that past Murphy.
Duchene around the boards. Thorne takes the chop at it. Bounces away. Duchene gets a piece of it. Luke Johnson in the corner. Fired wide. Bouncing puck. Mashner keeps it in. Gets the return pass out in front. Backhand, he scores! It's 5-4. Brandon Mashner with a huge goal for the Belleville Bulls.
Well, you can't say this one isn't going to be entertaining, Doug. Right down to the wire, and we talked about so much time left to play. A veteran Belleville Bulls team that's been here before. They're not going to panic. And Brandon Mashender, second of the game, upstairs on McCollum. Battalion not hard enough on the puck in their own end, and the puck squirts loose, and he goes backhand cheese on Thomas McCollum. And 10 and a half minutes remaining in this third period, 5-4. We are in for an absolute doozy finish here at the Powerade Center, Doug.
You know, with somebody watching or not watching this series and seeing all the goals that have scored, they wouldn't realize such big goaltending we've got at both ends of the rink in every game.
No question about it. Both goalies have been huge, and again, we look at the scores and the stats, they can be skewed sometimes. Both goalies have been terrific.
Stajan puts it behind the net for Kang. Kang works it along the boards. Johnson pins him there. Subin comes in as well as Stajan to help out. Loose puck. Stajan trying to work it with his skates away from PK Subin. 10:18 left here in the third. Battalion holding a 1-goal lead courtesy of the hat trick of Matt Duchene. Cameron along the boards. Albert takes a crack at it. They get it through to center ice as Johnson's there, and it's Stajan to Albert. Albert back for Josh Day. Anthony Peluso lost it at center ice. Nice job by Albert to take Judson out of the play. Peluso puts it off the boards in front of the Battalion bench, and it's cleared to Subin on the near side. Subin slides it away for Judson. And Albert again runs him out of real estate. Josh Day to the far side. Evgeny Grachev sweeps it back to Jason Dale. Cody Hodgson up for Grachev. Poked away from him. Grachev can't get it by PK Subban at center ice. Loose puck comes to Belleville. Judson on the far side can't get to it. Clark comes over to meet him on the far board. Day leaves it behind the net. Pither tied up with Clark. Hodgson back to help out. Pither working it through the skates now. 9:18 left. Wrap around. McCollum gets enough of it. Cleared by Subin now at the blue line. They'll throw it back in the corner. Here's Pither looking for the open man, sliding in behind, and it's deflected by McCollum on the near boards. Finally, Jason Dale leaves it for Matt Clark, who outlets the Josh Day to Cody Hodgson. Battalion relieve the pressure and send it down the ice. Bulls.
Pardon me, Doug. Momentum is covering waves here. We saw the Battalion with all the pressure. The Bulls get a fourth goal. Now they're pressing.
Matt Duchene takes the high stick from Luke Pither. He goes down in a heap. and the Bulls will be going to the box. The Battalion power play will come back to the ice.
And right away, the official, Doug, checking to see if there's any blood from Matt Duchene. Looks like it's just going to be 2, though, on the high stick for Luke Pither. So just as quickly as the Bulls get within 1, the Battalion now with a 2, go back on the man advantage with 8:44 to go and a 5-4 lead. Chance to increase that lead to 2. But after seeing a 7-2 score in Game 2 and 6-2 score in Game 3, the last 2 contests, Games 4 and 5, have been 1-goal games. So really, do we expect anything less here tonight?
Duchene and Grachev. Grachev with the puck. Tanaka backs away. Grachev back to Dave. Back to Grachev. Cross-ice pass. Hodgson with the shot. Rebound right out in front. Duchene stick tied up. Nice job by Grachev to get in there. Bouncing puck. Grachev touches it. And they're going to get a gloving the puck ahead. So it's going to be outside the blue line. Josh Day having some choice words for Craig Spatto, the referee. That means face-off outside the blue line.
And I was just going to say, Jay better watch himself there. He had some words for Craig Spada, and they had a bit of a heated discussion there for a moment, but no unsportsmanlike called into play. Battalion continue on this power play.
Hodgson gets it deep. Peluso chasing it down with Malone. Peluso in the corner. Subin comes over to help out. Peluso plays it to the far side. Hodgson's going to have to hurry. Poked by tip-off. Hodgson gets to it, though, first. Back to the point it comes. Grachev to Day. Day works it to the middle to Cody Hodgson. Leaves it for Evgeny Grachev. Grachev back to the front. Here's Day with the shot. That hits a body out in front as Corey Tanaka gets across to break that one up. Malone has to work it back behind his own net. Subin trying to get away from Peluso. Leaves it for Malone. Duchene chasing Malone down. He breaks out of his own zone. Gets it to Tanaka. His clearing pass at the blue line knocked away. Carrick's got a man with him. That's Kang. Carrick puts it behind Kang. Tanaka and Kang tied up. Battalion, less than a minute left in their power play. 7:37 left here in the third. Sam Carrick along the boards for Matt Kang. Kang trying to work it back to the point. Great job by Perroff to keep it in. High shot over top of the net. Albert can't hold the blue line. And Corey Tanaka will relieve the pressure through center. Poked away from him, but he sweeps it deep. McCollum will play it. Leave it for Perroff. 30 seconds left in the Battalion power play. Kang, he'll fire it deep in the corner. Tip-off is down at the blue line and out of the play, trying to make his way to the bench. And finally, Pajot will send it down the ice. 15 seconds, one more run at it for the Battalion. Perroff behind his own net. Under 7 minutes left here in the third period of play. Battalion clinging to a 1-goal lead. This is Brad Albert through the middle now. Up for Stefan Thorne. It's played in the corner. Canton goes after it. Along the boards and out over the blue line it comes. Pither's back on the ice, looking to move the puck through the middle. Delayed offside is finally waved down as Clark picks up the puck. Battalion broken up. Palmieri tips it by Clark, who couldn't get a piece of him, and it's cleared along the boards by Erickson. Pither gets it to Palmieri with time and space. Wrist shot is blocked. Palmieri gets it back. Poked away by Stajan. Dishes off for Subin. To the front of the net. Hits a body of Alexander Erickson. And Stefan Thorne gets it to the blue line. Knocked down by Subin. Taken away by the Battalion's Jason Dale. His long shot is high and wide. Subin turning it up ice for the Belleville Bulls. Subin, Battalion sitting on their heels at the blue line. And Subin plays it in the corner as he meets 4 green jerseys. Day tries to work it to the far point. Malone, shot low and just wide. Mashinder looking for the wraparound, puts it through the slot. They jam at it. McCollum's down, hangs on, the whistle goes.
Dangerous play in front of the net, Doug, and McCollum picked that puck up, and he had it right up and showed the referee that he had it. Well, we got a chance to catch our breath here. Let's send it down to Gurdeep, who's got a special guest. Gurdeep, take it away.
Thanks, guys. With Warren Reichel, the general manager and minority owner of the Windsor Spitfires. Warren, your team is awaiting the winner of this series. You just came off a 5-gamer with London. One of the strangest series you've ever seen with all 5 games going to overtime.
It was unbelievable. You know, I've been in hockey for a long time as a player and as a scout and now as a manager. And all 5 games were unbelievable, intense. And what an opponent the London Knights were, but we're fortunate to pull it off.
Crazy game going on behind us right here. Who do you like to come out of the series?
You know what? I don't know. It's back and forth right now, and I can tell you one thing. I know this game's not over right now, and you might see a power play for Belleville here coming up.
Okay, there's a prediction. And also, who do you feel you match up better with, Brampton or Belleville?
You know what? I think we're not too worried about strict matchups, so we know our opponent, but we're going to be well rested, and we're going to worry about our own business and play our game.
Warren, thanks a lot for doing this. We appreciate it, and congrats, by the way, on OHL Executive of the Year.
Thanks, Goody.
Warren Reichel, back to you guys.
5:02 left here in the third period of play, and here comes Sean Malone through the middle. That hits a skate. Across the blue line, offside will be called. If Judson touches this, Grachev follows up and takes it away for the Battalion, dishing off to Matt Clark. Clark through center. He'll get it deep into the corner. Subin watching Tansky. Tansky tries to play it along the boards. Malone takes it away. Tansky strips him of the puck. Throws it out in front. Grachev, big save from Murphy. Grachev leaves it for Duchene in the corner. Duchene trying to get around Pither. Drop the ice, looking for the penalty, none coming, and it's back at center ice. Day plays it up, and it goes off a body and out of play.
Wow, moments ago, Scott Tansky, the setup for Evgeny Grachev, Doug, and he just missed in front of the net. Mike Murphy, I think, got a piece of that as it went by, so it remains 5-4 here with just 4:26 left here in the third period. The crowd certainly on edge here at the Powerade Center.
Off the draw, the Battalion win it. Stajan takes the draw. Clark steps up, makes the pass through the middle, deflected by Stajan right on. Murphy with trouble on that bouncing puck, but elected to steer it in the corner. Through the middle. Dale takes it away, gets it over for Stajan. He's got Kang with him, slides it down in the corner. Canton watching Kang. Kang along the boards. To center ice it comes. Albert is there. He'll hammer it deep again. Battalion going 1-2-2. One guy out front, two men back, and two defensemen deep. Kent, cross ice pass. Stajan breaks it up at center, sends it deep again. Full line change from the Battalion. The Bulls take the changes as they can as well. Subin, nice spin around inside his own zone. Turns back away from Hodgson. Outlet pass. Through the middle comes Johnston. Across the blue line, Johnston going wide. Watched by Day, behind the net. Peroff comes to meet him. Nice job by Cameron to get in the way. Subin tees it up. His shot is blocked by Peluso, and it bounces back to the neutral zone. 3:25 left here in the third. Subin trying to get around Peroff. Pass to the near side. No offside. It was waved off to the front of the net. McCollum gets a piece of that one. Had to stretch to steer that in the corner. Cameron, Mashinter now. Mashinter working it over. Hodgson gets it away to Peluso. Looks for the outlet pass and throws it through the center ice area. Thorne tracing down Subin. Subin takes the hit from Peluso. Play goes deep in the Battalion end. Duchene wheels back to pick it up. Cross ice pass from Grachev. Grachev moves it to the middle. Peluso gets it to center. Left it for Grachev. Big one-time pass. And he went for Hodgson. Poked away from him by Sean Lalone. Clark tied up with Mashinter. Tanaka works it over. Erickson takes him out along the boards. Erickson takes the big hit from Palmieri. Following it up is Tansky. He'll work it up the ice. Tansky, cross ice pass. Hits Duchene on the tape. Flips it up. Knocked down by Pajot. Nice job by Pajot to break that up from Duchene, who heads off to the bench.
Yeah, real nice play there by Pajot. Duchene tried the cheeky little chip ahead. Pajot wasn't going to have any of it. Nice defensive play.
2 minutes, 15 seconds left here in the third. 30-29, the shots on goal. This game, everything as advertised here from the bunker in the Powerade Center. Long pass intended for tip-off. That goes down the ice, and icing is called. They'll bring it all the way back.
Well, while we got a break in the action, Doug, let's get our trivia question and answer here for this evening. As we tee it up here for you, what is the longest game in Battalion history? Well, how good's your memory? If you were watching last night, you would know last night's game was the longest in Battalion history. Double overtime, 98 minutes, 44 seconds. Of course, unfortunately, it was a 3-2 double OT loss. But more important matters at hand here in Game 6.
Here come the Bulls, 2-on-1 break. Cameron with the puck. Shot right on. McCollum makes the save.
Well, we always talk about getting a big save from your veteran netminder, that these two goaltenders have been as advertised in this series. Thomas McCollum holding his ground here on the dangerous Brian Cameron as they get a brief 2-on-1. Lets the shot go. McCollum square to the shooter, covers up. Less than 2 minutes to play now. Face off deep in Battalion territory.
Off the draw. Subin at the point. Cross ice pass. Grachev's got to hurry to get to it. Chips it away. Tansky after it. That'll go for icing. Buck 44 left here in the third.
Just a little bit too far there. The big reach of Grachev got there in time. He was too hard on that puck.
the draw. Bulls win it. Back to the point. Kept in by Pajot. Down low. Hodgson takes his man out. Pither goes after it in the corner. Chip by Clark. Subban, nice job to keep it in along the boards. Behind the net, Cameron has it. Peroff watching it. Gets a piece of Cameron. Bouncing puck away. Murphy's out of the net for the Belleville Bulls. That brings Tanaka on the ice. Bulls doing everything they can to tie this game up and send the series back to Belleville. Out in front, Grachev picks it off. Tansky tied up with his man. Grachev brings it to center. Wheels it past. Grachev's got the open net. Can he slide the puck in? He certainly can! 6-4, Battalion lead it. $1.06 left in the third period of play.
And what a head of steam by the Russian, Doug. He got that puck and it was not going to be denied as he scooped the puck down the boards, went straight through the Battalion defender. And I thought at first the angle was a little too sharp for Grachev to get it in, but a great shot. Sharp angle, a little over a minute to go. The crowd here at the Powerade Center rocking as we see it right here. How many times have we seen that this season when he just bullies his way through defenders?
And he didn't just slide it into
no,
he let it.
Exclamation point.
So the Brampton Battalion, a 2-goal lead with 1:06 left here in the third period of play.
And nearly 4,000 strong here at the Powerade Center standing and cheering, Doug. Less than a minute to go.
Out in front, Ericsson's down, loose puck, shot, goes just wide. Murphy again back on the bench. Subban after it. Inside Battalion territory, Subban dishes off. Pajot, sharp angle, that goes wide. Puck comes loose. Jason Dale at the blue line, can't clear it. Duchene gets it to center ice, trying to one-hand it up to Dale. Dale at the center ice area, sends it deep. Cody Hodgson goes after PK Subban. Put behind the net. The fans here in the bunker are on their feet. 26 seconds left. And it looks like the Brampton Battalion are on their way to the OHL Championship Series. First time in their 11-year history, the Battalion have made it past the second round of the playoffs. Well, this time, they're going all the way to the OHL final.
Listen to this crowd, Doug, standing and cheering as the Battalion are going to advance in 6.
Cody Hodgson with 2 seconds left. That's the exclamation point on the captain's season.
A double exclamation point. A little gravy from the captain, Cody Hodgson. Second of the night for Hodgson, second of this period. And the Battalion, 7-4, Doug. Unbelievable, as you mentioned. Second round of the playoffs was their best before.
You know,
they're going all the way to the finals.
I was here day one. I've been doing this team for 11 years, and I got to tell you, the electric atmosphere in here and the way this team has played. We've said it since the beginning of the season. This is the most well-rounded hockey club the Battalion have ever had from top to bottom, from number 1 on the roster to the last name on the list. They played a stellar game coming back from a 3-2 deficit to win this one, and we'll move on to take on the Windsor Spitfires for the OHL Championship.
Yeah,
the Brampton Battalion have won the Eastern Conference.
The Bobby Orr Trophy going to the Brampton Battalion, Doug, and that series will start Wednesday. The others running on to the ice with their civvies in celebration. That will start Wednesday night in Windsor, Doug. But what an accomplishment for this team. Absolutely tremendous. A 6-game series. Battalion take it 4 games to 2.
We're going to take a break here on OHL Primetime. Coming back with more as the Battalion win the Eastern Conference.
Total shots on goal by the Battalion 31, by Belleville 30. Fans, here are tonight's 3-star selections. The 3rd star from your Brampton Battalion, number 17, Jason Dale. Star from the Belleville Bulls, number 18, Nick Palmieri.
Welcome back to Brampton Battalion. Win this series 4-2. They win the game 7-4 over the Belleville Bulls. A wonderful series here at the Powerade Center. A great win by the Brampton Battalion, their whole organization, owner Scott Abbott, head coach Stan Butler. There you see the lineup, the procession of players that are going to shake hands, the traditional shake hands at the end of the series. PK Subban, there you see shaking hands with Matt Duchene. What a series he had. There you see Mike Murphy, unbelievable game yesterday, making 55 out of 57 saves. And there you see the captain, Cody Hodgson, acknowledging the crowd. And like as I said, this organization's been around for 11 years. Its first Eastern Conference championship, and the next one is going to be for the OHL crown against the Windsor Spitfires. And there you see head coach Stan Butler has went through a lot of hard times and built this team from the ground up and made some key acquisitions at the deadline. And we're going to throw it upstairs to Doug and Scott for some of their thoughts. And what a wonderful victory, guys. A wonderful celebration. Nice to see here in Brampton.
Indeed it is, Mark, as you see the Belleville Bulls saluting their fans who made the trek down from Belleville for game number 6 here at the bunker in the Powerade Center, and rightfully so. The Bulls ran the table at the end of the season to get that 7th and final game at home. Unfortunately for them, it's not to be. The Brampton Battalion in 6 in 3rd period hockey tonight. 5 goals for the Battalion, and that's the turning point. They came out determined. We said the team that wanted it more was the team that was going to win, and they wanted it more in the 3rd period, it seemed.
Well, no question about that, Doug. You know what we talked about the secondary scoring and their best players being your best players, and the big 3 for the Battalion. Hodgson, Grachev, Duchene. They were the offense in that 3rd period. Everybody played good, make no mistake. But those big 3, huge in that 3rd period, leading this team to victory.
And you know what? Good for Stan Butler. It's been 11 seasons. A lot of people have had their comments back and forth, but Stan Butler, as the head coach, general manager, director of hockey operations, has really done a great job assembling the club that you see on the ice now. The trades he made at the deadline were second to none, and that's why the Brampton Battalion were able to come through with this big victory, getting the likes of Thomas McCollum, Anthony Peluso, Matt Kang, Andrew Merritt, and Josh Day. That has been the difference for this Battalion Hockey Club. And here comes the Bobby Orr Trophy, significant for the Eastern Conference champion, which will be presented to the Brampton Battalion. A big, big victory and a big day in Battalion history.
Well, I can tell you, Doug, congratulations to the Brampton Battalion. You know, I haven't been here as long as you and Mark, and it's been a real treat this season. No question to be along with you guys for this incredible ride, but their playoff failure has been well documented, the Brampton Battalion. As you mentioned, those acquisitions huge, getting the monkey off their back, and they're going to the OHL final.
There's OHL and CHL Commissioner David Branch set to make the presentation to the Brampton Battalion. So let's go down to ice level.
The Hockey Hall of Fame. The Commissioner of the Ontario Hockey League, Mr. David Branch, will now present the Bobby Orr Trophy to Captain Cody Hodgson of the 2011 Eastern Conference champion, Brampton Battalion.
Well, what a season Cody Hodgson has had for the Brampton Battalion. A season like no other, and he's really led this team. Nobody wants to go near Cody touching that trophy, as it's long been one of those things. Stay away from the conference trophy. There's bigger things to be had for the Brampton Battalion.
That'll be for the Windsor Spitfires, Doug. But to your point about Cody Hodgson, I mean, it just keeps getting better and better for Cody this year. I mean, what an amazing year it's been for him. We've talked about it. You know, the gold with the World Juniors, and obviously what he did at the All-Star game this year, and an incredible season with his battalion hockey team. As we see, all the team now will huddle around Cody with the trophy, but that's his close as they're going to get. No one's going to get their mitts on that thing, as you mentioned, Doug. A lot bigger prize awaits. That'll start Wednesday night in Windsor.
And I'll tell you something, you know, talking to Warren Reichel earlier, as Grenade did a great job getting him, that he's got the Windsor Spitfires ready to roll, and a little bit of rest for them, a little bit of time to heal, because they did have a tough time getting by the London Knights. And I'll tell you something, this battalion lineup is the most determined I have seen in their 11-year history. And they are one happy crew right now, and to do it on home ice in front of a large throng of people that are here.
Well, what I really liked about what the battalion did, Doug, they put last night behind them. As we talked about off the top of the broadcast, the best thing about tonight was to get right back at it following that double overtime loss last night. And they came to play, played a great first period, hit a speed bump there in the second, but really came out in the third, led by Hodgson, Duchene, Grachev, really established themselves, and they come out on top with a 7-4 win. But certainly, you know, the playoff monkey, so to speak, off this team's back, a great run. OHL final awaits.
Well, the Brampton Battalion, the Eastern Conference champions. We're coming back with more on Rogers TV. Stay with us. OHL Primetime continues.
Mike.
Well, the Powerade Center is rocking. The Brampton Battalion score 5 times in the third period and come from behind to knock off the Belleville Bulls in 6 games and take the Eastern Conference Championship Series. And as we've said many times, for the first time in their 11-year history, the Battalion finally finish off the season big time at home. But they've got bigger fish to fry, and we've said that, as the Windsor Spitfires await them in the OHL final.
Yeah, no question about that, and we're certainly jacked up for that OHL championship. But let's just take a minute, soak this in, Doug. Congratulations to the battalion, as you mentioned, Coach Stan Butler, his entire coaching staff and team. 6-game series here with the Belleville Bulls. A fantastic series. We had everything in this series. We had some controversy, lots of offense, great goaltending. It really was, as advertised, a great 1-2 matchup.
And partner, like you said, the big guns were the big guns for the battalion.
Certainly.
And nobody shined brighter than Matt Duchene, who's downstairs with Mark Heron. Congratulations, Matt.
Boys, just say congratulations to you and congratulations from me as well. Oh, man. Eastern Conference champion. How does that sound?
It's amazing. It's last year was obviously such a disappointment. All the guys coming back, we're so excited to try and kind of rewrite the book this year. So we're ecstatic right now.
Yeah, you guys never made it to the third round before, and now you're going to the OHL championship game and obviously championship series, excuse me. obviously there's bigger fish to fry, but I guess you take tonight in and just soak it all in a little bit.
Yeah, right now we're going to celebrate this for a little while, and now...
Not in the mouth, eh? This time he gets you in the mouth too. Holy smokes!
I wish it was whipped cream.
Yeah, I know, that's exactly good. Shaving cream doesn't taste too good, but you might need it after the beard. I mean, you got a little bit of stubble.
I got the chops going. A little bit of dust there. I can't quite join it yet, but give me a couple of years.
Yeah, I think so. There's no question about that. But obviously, you look back on the whole playoffs, and right now you're thinking, man, it's got to feel pretty good. But at the same time, is there one memory right now that sticks out for you so far on this playoff run?
I think I think it was game 4 in this game here. We were down going the third period and came back and ended up winning the game. So those are huge confidence boosts for our team, and it shows the character we have, and especially against such a good team like Belleville. So I think that's what sticks out the most right now.
And getting 3 goals as well. I mean, that's got to be outstanding. You got a hat trick, and you just it's everything you dream about growing up playing hockey as a kid, I guess.
Yeah, in overtime the other day, I missed 2 great opportunities and felt really bad, and then ended up taking that penalty at the end there, whether it was warranted or not, I don't know. But I kind of felt a little bit responsible for the team's loss, so it was really good to kind of help contribute to the win tonight.
Talk about the Belleville Bulls. Obviously, they gave it their all, and unbelievable character. They come out without their captain, Grady doesn't even come out here, and they give you that kind of a run. Talk about their franchise.
They're great. They obviously they went to the Mem Cup last year, and they had a lot of guys back this year and had a great team. They worked really hard, and a guy like Nick Palmieri had an unbelievable series, and he was really big for them, as well as Mike Murphy. So.
Matt, hate to cut you off, but we have to go to the press conference right now, and it is just starting. Gurdeep is there for Rogers TV. Let's get it underway.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the post-game press conference in the Rogers 2009 OHL Eastern Conference Championship Series. Joined now with head coach and general manager of the Belleville Bulls, George Burnett, and forward Nick Palmieri. I'd like to welcome everybody watching at home on Rogers and Cogeco networks, as well as on the OHL Action Pack. First of all, congratulations, guys, on what was a tremendous regular season. Coach, we'll start with you tonight. Great second period to get the guys back into the game. Your thoughts?
Well, again, not a start we wanted, but we still felt pretty good. Their shots and chances were limited in the first period. Give our guys a tremendous amount of credit for the way we battled back in the second. And again, I think just a little soft on our own end of the rink against their top guys, and a couple of quick goals gets us back on our heels. I think it says a little bit about the character of our group that we continued to battle to the end, and I'm proud of the way our guys performed. We didn't play at the level that we have played at throughout the season, but I think a lot of credit needs to go to Brampton and the job that Stan has done, and the group of people. They have great depth, and I'm sure they'll represent the Eastern Conference well in the final against Windsor.
Thanks, George. Nick, we'll turn to you. 2 goals tonight in the second period. Gave you 9 in the past 4 games. You're really the offensive punch that the Bulls needed down the stretch. Your thoughts on the game and comment on your own performance?
I thought we came out hard in the second. Started off a little slow, but then we picked it up a little bit. I don't know, I just seemed to be finding the puck and scoring areas and able to put a few away, but it's always tough to lose, and I'd rather take team success over personal success any day.
Thanks, Nick. At this time, we'll invite questions from the media. Should you have a question, please wait for the microphone to reach you.
Thanks. Questions for Nick. Nick, this game was all about momentum shift. It seemed like you guys took the lead 3-2, and it seems like things were going your way. Do you feel you played well enough to win this game?
I can't say that we did, because obviously we lost. So I thought we played well. A few mistakes that cost us, and that's the turning point. The game is so close. So with those few mistakes can cost you a goal, and that can be the difference in the game.
George, I was wondering if you could touch on both the guys that this will be their final game with your team, as well as the group you'll have returning next year.
Well, it'll be a different group. There's going to be a lot of changes and a big graduation again this year. When we started, we weren't quite sure where we fit in, and I think credit our guys with the tremendous goaltending of Murph in the first half of the season. We found ourselves in a position that we really didn't anticipate being in. We felt we were a competitive group, but to be at the top of the conference, I think exceeded maybe our expectations when we started. So we made some changes to bring Brandon and Nick and Luke Pither in to add to our skill and depth and grit. And I think we had a tremendous second half of the season, and we needed to in order to stay ahead of this Brampton club with the tremendous success that they've had throughout the season and after a tough first 6 or 7 games. And so there's some disappointments there that we come up just a touch short. When you look at the graduating players, I think you have to talk about Corey Tanaka, 5 years in the league, a record for games played, a warrior. His best hockey was always played at the most important times, playoffs, Mem Cups. We've got a couple of guys, and without making any excuses, that are much less than 100%, and I thought that they played through that and to the best of their ability, and I'm proud of that, and they should be proud of that. Schindler has only been here for a short period of time, but a tremendous guy with a Mem Cup experience last year, and a big addition to our club, a great kid that's signed a contract, and he'll play pro next year. And of course, Nick Pajot, who's a 4-year guy. Just a quality young man that's represented our organization particularly well in all situations, and a guy that's dealt with tremendous injury and sickness throughout his, missing much of last year with mono. To see him come back this year, as I said, and battle through a lot of adversity, it was nice to see Nick have a good year for us. So he had those 3 overage guys in with Cameron, Tangradi, Subban, Pither, Palmieri, all guys that we would expect, Cameron, all guys that we would expect to play pro next year. It'll be quite a transition for our club.
Now, as a bystander, how do you see this battalion team matching up against Windsor?
Well, I think both clubs have tremendous skill and speed, and I think there's an opportunity for, I think a lot of people consider the West to be considerably stronger, and as I said, I wouldn't count this team out. Tremendous leadership from Cody and Matt, and they've made some tremendous additions to give them depth to play. They'll play tough, they'll play hard, they'll play with skill, and I think they have a confidence with Thomas in the net that they probably didn't have in the future, or in the past, pardon me. And I think that their defense is probably a group that doesn't get the credit that they maybe deserve, that they battle you hard. I look at Clark, for example, who made life miserable for our wingers and made us earn every inch of ice, and I'm sure they're going to have their moments, but I think it should be a tremendous series, and I know that Brampton will represent our conference very well.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you.
We're back in a moment with the Brampton Battalion.
Welcome back to OHL Primetime. There you just saw George Burnett and Nick Palmieri. Nick Palmieri, unbelievable series. And George Burnett, what can you say about this fine gentleman? Great head coach, great general manager. Takes his team to 3 Eastern Conference championships. Won it last year, beating the Oshawa Generals, and went all the way to the Memorial Cup, losing to the Kitchener Rangers in that decisive game. And you know what? Say what you will, the Belleville Bulls gave it their all. What a tremendous series that they had. I know that they lost in 6, but you look at the adversity that they went through, including losing Eric Tangradi. They lost a lot of depth from last year, a lot of graduating players, as George Burnett alluded to. They're going to lose a lot of depth again next year, but you know what? The additions they made at the deadline, Burnett gave them every chance to win this one. And you know, when you lose a guy like Eric Tangradi, your captain and the heart and soul of this hockey club, you know what? That's going to be tough. And certainly Brampton was full marks for the win today, but Belleville certainly made it difficult for them in a very, very tough, hard-fought 6-game series. So we're talking about the past. Let's talk a little bit about the future, and we will discuss that later on in the broadcast. And there you see the OHL Championship Series. We can now talk about the Brampton Battalion facing the Windsor Spitfires, and there you see the schedule. Game 1 at Windsor on Wednesday, April 29th at 7 p.m. That is next Wednesday, April 29th at 7 p.m. And then we will be back here at the bunker on Friday, May 1st at 7:30 p.m. That is the first game for the battalion at home. And they're Stan Butler and Matt Duchene. Let's show it to the press conference.
Networks and on the OHL Action Pack. Joined now with head coach and general manager Stan Butler and forward Matt Duchene of the Eastern Conference champion Brampton Battalion. Congratulations, guys, on what was a great game and a great series.
Thank you.
Coach, we'll start with you. Electric feeling in the building tonight. Lots of fan support, and you guys definitely got an early jump with a couple quick goals. Your thoughts on the game?
Well, I thought we got off to a really good start, and I thought in the second period, we knew both teams would be tired, and they caught us a couple of times where in our forecheck system we had some bad assignments, and they got some odd man rushes. And in the third period, we just said to the guys that we've come back before against them, and this team's got a lot of character, and it's not like a car; you just can't put gas in the tank. But I think mentally they'd worked really hard to achieve this, and they came out in the third period, and Matt got the first goal to get us going, and you know what, the guys just kept going from there.
Matt, we'll turn to you. 3 goals tonight, hat trick. The crowd was really getting into it, throwing the hats on the ice. Tell us about your game.
It's kind of just, I wasn't expecting anything like that. It just, sometimes in games, opportunities open up and you're just in the right place at the right time. So it was awesome. Our crowd was unbelievable and we fed off their energy.
This time we now invite questions from the media, and once again, please wait for the microphone to reach you.
Well, Matt, I guess last night, and Stan, you could touch on this as well, playing till after 11 p.m., not an ideal situation when you consider it a turnaround. After the second period, can you just maybe talk a bit about the mood in the locker room being down a goal?
Well, obviously we were very happy with how we played in the second period, and but we realized that we couldn't, you can't change what's happened in the past, and that we just had to go out, and we felt that if we could get a goal early like we did, in Game 4, that we could change the momentum, because it's a game of swings, and that's what we had to do. And Matt scored a nice goal there on the power play, took the puck, put it in the top shelf, and got us going from there. And then our guys just went really hard. And I mean, that's a credit to them. And we always say it as coaches, but your best players have got to be your best players. And in the third period, Matty and Cody and Grach, I mean, they just stepped up their game. And I thought Jason Dale was great tonight too. And you know what? It's the type of character we have. And when you have a special team like this, you see why certain groups are special, because they have that type of character you need to win.
Stan, you talk about getting performances from your big players in that third period. You're trailing going into the third. What exactly did you say to your team in that second intermission?
Well, I just said we got to get back to doing the things that we need to do. We need to get pucks in deep. We had to establish a forecheck. We had to play the game more in their end. When you give Subin and Lalonde time and to rush the puck, I mean, they're great players, and if you can stop them from skating forwards and making them skate back a little bit more, it makes your life a lot easier.
Hey Matt, just to go on the individual route here, if you don't mind for a sec. I think you know what's going to be coming now with the you're playing the final and how that could play out in the draft and that sort of thing. And there's talk this week of the whole, knocking Tavares off of that perch. Does that play into your mind at all now in the next few weeks? Has it been?
Not really. Anytime I'm successful, it's when I don't think about myself and I put team first, and I'm not going to change a thing. I'm not looking for personal accolades or anything like that. If they come, great. If they don't, then just as long as the team's winning, that's all I care about.
Stan, after Game 4, you were in here talking about shaking up the lines a little bit. We saw some of that certainly again in the third period. Dale moving up again with Cody and Gino.
Yeah, you know what? Unfortunately tonight we didn't think Anthony had his legs tonight, and Dale was, had really good energy, and we talked as a coaching staff between the second and third, and we just thought we'd switch things there. We put Daler with Cody and Grach. I thought that worked out pretty well, and then we moved Thorny in back with Matty and Tansky, just to get a little bit more forecheck for Matthew there. And then we put Kanger back with Stage, and we used Carrick a little bit there and Plouffe. But Plouffe is a great player. It's just one of those days. And you know what, Cody and Dale are familiar. They played together last year, and we just thought that if we could get a little more forecheck off the right side, that would help. And got us at least one goal.
Matt, can you talk about the job that I guess the defenseman you went up against, Subin and Lalonde, the job they did against Brampton?
Oh, they're very, very good skaters, so it's really tough to get around them, and they're not only good offensively but defensively as well. They're very strong, so they gave us everything we could handle, and it was tough to play against them.
Stan, there's obviously another series to go here, but just your thoughts on getting to this point now for the first time in team history, having
I
built
mean,
this team from the ground up.
I think when you're sitting here and you worked as hard as our organization have, I'm real happy for our owner, and I know Mike's worked real hard on the business side, and it's great to see the fans in here, but I think you get a real appreciation just how hard it is to get here. Like, we've had to win 3 series against 3 pretty good hockey teams, and it's a tough sledding, and I think a lot of times people just think that it's a lot easier than it is, and it just should happen all the time. And if winning was easy, then everybody would be winning.
Matt, great game tonight. -1 here. I was wondering if you could touch on what happened there, and also what the team needs to improve on as they head into Windsor.
Yeah, -1 is kind of embarrassing. I'm not too happy about that, but I guess with every good thing comes a bad thing, so it's okay. I'm not too worried about it.
As a coach too, I mean, if he's -1, he scores 3 goals. I think I can live with that, because if he's getting 3, we're probably in good shape.
What was the other? Sorry.
What sort of things does the team need to improve on and do better heading into Windsor?
I think you just got to keep getting better and better every game. Just heighten everything. Their forecheck, back check, our speed, not making mistakes, and I think we'll be fine. They're a very good team, and we're really looking forward to getting started against them.
Congratulations once again, guys, on a terrific series.
Take one more from the back.
Sorry, just squeeze one more in here for you, Stan. You've been working at this for so long now. If you could just talk about...
Are you saying I'm old?
It's a cliche question, but how does it feel to finally get to this point now after 11 years?
Well, I mean, it's really happy. I mean, I can remember, being involved with this team with Mr. Abbott when this arena wasn't built, and we were in a room off City Hall, and I can remember one night, probably the best story I can tell you in the first year is I'm driving along the 416 home from Ottawa, and geez, the traffic's really good, and my wife calls me, and she says, "Where are you?" And I said, "I'm on the 416. She says, "Well, there's an ice storm, and it's closed." And I said, "Well, they didn't stop me." And, so you can remember back to that year of doing a lot of scouting and finding players, and you know what, it's a lot of hard work, but it's great for the city of Brampton. It's great for our ownership, and hopefully what this will do is just show the people in Brampton how good the hockey is here and how exciting it is, and hopefully they won't just come to these games, but they'll come for a long time. And you know what, I'm just proud to be involved in this organization. I'm proud of players like Matt. Wojtek Volsky was here today. He came to see us. He was really happy, and so I guess if I gave you the Coles Notes version, yeah, I'm as proud as hell.
Thanks again, guys. Congratulations, and good luck the rest of the way.
Welcome back. There you saw the press conference with Stan Butler and Matt Duchene. Matt Duchene getting the first star in this game with 3 goals, and we're here with one of the stars of the series, Matt Kang. Matt, you came over here from the Kingston Frontenacs at a trade deadline deal. You're an overager. Obviously, this has got to feel pretty good for you, something special.
Yeah, I think I'm a little lost for words right now. I mean, I've waited 4.5 years for this, so it definitely paid off.
Certainly did. And you know what? One of the, I guess the big things about this Brampton team is the depth. And a lot of people talked about your game and how you made a difference there. Obviously, it's one thing getting to the playoffs, but it's another coming in and contributing like you did. Obviously, it's got to be pretty satisfying knowing now that you're a champion and the contribution that you were able to perform.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, every game I wanted to go out there and put up numbers or whatever it was, just score, make plays, or play well on my own end. But again, I've won my whole life. I won in minor hockey. I've won playing Tier 2 for St. Mike's, and the only thing that was missing was winning in the OHL. And hopefully I can finish it off with getting a Memorial Cup.
Describe what it's been like playing with this group of guys. Obviously, you didn't get to know them all year, but you got traded here in January, so it was baptism by fire, I guess. What's it been like playing with this club?
I've been on a couple teams in my OHL career, and nothing's been like this. I mean, the leadership with Cody and at the top is amazing, and the unity we have in this dressing room is awesome. And all the guys are on the same page, and they all focus, and we all want to win. So that's awesome.
Talk about that first game, Game 1. You had 2 big goals, a huge deke on Murphy, and to make it 4-1. Obviously, that was an amazing moment for you personally.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, not often I get 2 breakaways a game and get to score on both of them. So I think I had a little bit of luck on my side. But again, that was the first game, and it was a really good game for me. It gave me the confidence to go into the second game and the rest of the series, and I think it showed. So, it was a good game.
Not only that, you had the energy as well. It just seemed like every time you were on the ice, you just wanted to try to lift your team up. Did you find that being one of the veterans on this club that you had to kind of do that a little bit, maybe take, try to change the momentum a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, my first year in the league, we went to the second round again, and we lost to London. But I got to see that the older guys out there that obviously performed every game, and I wanted to be that guy, and I knew that, as the series went by, that I can be a difference in the series, and I think I was a little bit. And I just went out there and I played my heart out.
Now, obviously, we were talking a little bit off camera about you're going to enjoy this, but you've got Windsor next. When do you start preparing for the championship series?
Luckily, Stan gave us a couple of days off, and we're going to start on Monday and get to work and learn, see how they forecheck and backcheck and everything, and we're just going to get to work on Monday and go on Wednesday and hopefully get a dub.
Now, how do you prepare for that? Do you guys watch game film? Do you look at their tendencies in the playoffs? How does that work?
Yeah, definitely. You got to watch a lot of video. I mean, Harps is amazing at that. He watches videos almost 20 hours a day, I'd say. But he's definitely going to get us prepared, and we're going to have a game plan that we want to do with Windsor. And, we know who they have. They have the Tyler Hall and Ryan Ellis. So we got to shut them down. And I think if we shut them down, again, some of the role players are going to step up, which they did, in every series, especially today, guys like Daler and stuff. So once we get everybody going, I think we can beat them.
Matt, I appreciate it. Thanks so much. Once again, congratulations, Eastern Conference champion, the Ontario Hockey League. That's got to be pretty nice to hear.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
Matt King of the Brampton Battalion. I almost called St. Kingston Frontex again. When we come back, we'll have more here on OHL Prime Time. Stick around on Rogers TV. Welcome back to OHL Prime Time, brought to you by Tourism Brampton. There you see the final. Brampton 7, the Belleville Bulls 4, the Brampton Battalion, Eastern Conference champions. I never thought I'd hear myself saying that, but there it is. There you have it. They are going to the OHL Championship Series against the Windsor Spitfires. We're joined right now with Gurdeep Ahluwalia, who is in the press room. Gurdeep, obviously a happy Stan Butler in that press conference. What did you take away from that?
Yeah, it's amazing how much more talkative Stan is after a win than after a loss. So he was happy to talk about it. He was reflective. He was telling some stories. To me, though, just one of the most interesting things I saw after the game was just PK Subban doubled over, extremely upset. And from speaking to him, a number of months ago, PK, this was, a lot of guys go through the OHL with one with one sight on the NHL for PK. This was a legitimate goal for him. This was something he was very excited about. His father, his whole family, they were all here, and they really wanted to win a Memorial Cup. They got the taste of it last year, and PK, visibly disappointed. I believe he was supposed to be in here doing some media, and instead Nick Palmieri came and did a good job with that. But just looking ahead to the final, I mean, going to be a very offensive series. You look at some of the guys on Windsor. Warren Reichel done such a fabulous job with that draft. Ryan Ellis, Taylor Hall, Dale Mitchell, all among the league leaders. And then you look at what Brampton has. Going to be a very offensive series, but hard to forget about some of these players on Belleville who've served 4 years, 5 years, and it was their final call of duty. PK Subban, I mentioned, Tanaka, Pajot, Mashinter, all these guys not going to be back. And, when an NHL team is eliminated, it's always sad, but the majority of guys do end up coming back. Here in the OHL, so much turnover and a lot of sadness right now going through that Belleville room just down the hall from Brampton, where it's just pure joy right now. We'll go back to you, Mark, in studio.
Thanks very much, Gurdeep. And as you mentioned, obviously Belleville going to be graduating a lot of players, and more power to them. I thought that they did a terrific job in this series, and as I said, the depth from graduating players last year to this year was depleted. George Burnett did the best job he possibly could, and they almost pulled it out against the Brampton Battalion here, 3-2 after 2 periods of play where Belleville was up, and boy, it was almost looking like there was going to be a Game 7, but Brampton pulls it out in the third period, and we're going to throw it upstairs right now to Doug and Scott for some of their final thoughts. And Doug, as Scott alluded to, you and I, big fella, have been around here for quite some time, and maybe you can reflect a little bit about what it means to you to say that the Brampton Battalion right now have won the Eastern Conference and they're champions.
What, Mark, you're saying one full season doesn't count? As far, I mean,
hey, I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna. Yeah, you know what, Mark? I've been here since day one, and you and I both covered OHL primetime for a long time. And one of the big things that we've come to realize is that these are a bunch of young men that really grow as the season goes on and grow as their career goes on. And so, with that, I have to say congratulations to the full coaching staff of the Brampton Battalion, led by Stan Butler, Kelly Harper, and Jamie Allison. Congratulations to Mike Griffin and his crew in the front office. But more often than not, I'm really happy for Scott Abbott. This is something that the battalion ownership has put a lot of heart and soul into, and I'm happy to say Eastern Conference champions with more to come as they take on the Windsor Spitfire. Scott, give me your thoughts on this whole series as a full and maybe going forward against Windsor.
Yeah, well, first of all, let me just say, I know you guys have been here since day one. As for me, just coming on here is my first full year, Doug, with you and Mark, and it's just been a lot of fun, the three of us working together. And for me, I've just really enjoyed the ride. We've had a lot of fun up here in the booth. It's just been a lot of fun being a part of this Brampton Battalion run. And really, when I look at it with this series, really, Mark talked about it with Matt Kang and getting that first game in Belleville so big. We talked about it off air after that last series against Mississauga. If they could go in there and find a way to steal it, you really set the tone for yourself. The way they've protected home ice all season, it's been so impressive. And one of the things that I took out of that press conference that we haven't hit on was Matt Duchene said twice on home ice we were down heading into the third period, and we proved we could get it done.
And one of the big things that we talk about is the way this team battled and the way this team had the heart and soul to come back and win those hockey games.
Yeah.
And when you and I talk about it as well, we talk about the fact that they are one of the few teams, along with Windsor, that can roll 3 and 4 lines and roll 6 defensemen. They have an outstanding goaltender. This is a complete 20-man effort that the battalion have put in throughout this conference championship series, and they're going to need that 20-man effort going forward. And from Cody Hodgson right down all the way through the lineup, this team is really geared toward that championship series now. And I really believe this is the best battalion hockey club I've seen in their 11-year history.
Yeah, well, you know what, Doug, no question about it. And we talked going through the season about how the battalion, their best players need to be your best players. Stan Butler alluded to it in his post-game words as well. You had Grachev, Hodgson, Duchene step up here in the third period and be big time. We saw that throughout the regular season. We also saw their depth, their scoring depth, secondary scoring. And what I liked about it, they kept it on that even keel. They brought that kind of scoring into the playoffs where their best players were their best players, and they got the secondary scoring as well.
And Mark, how fitting was it that they had such a great home record that they win the Eastern Conference on home ice in front of a packed house in the Powerade Center?
You know what Scott told me just before the playoffs start? Scott and I had this conversation in the last game when they played Oshawa. And Scott was talking about the fact that home ice is probably going to be so important in that 1-2, and it certainly proved that way. Brampton holds court. They steal one in Belleville, and pretty much that was the series. Brampton did not lose a game on home ice, while Belleville did, and that pretty much sums it up. And we're going to wrap it up here from OHL Primetime, but we will have more. As Doug said, there is more to come. The big one is the OHL Championship Series. Series against the Windsor Spitfires. And game number 2 will be back here at the bunker on Friday, May 1st at 7:30 p.m. Game number 1 in Windsor on Wednesday, April 29th. It is going to be one wild ride, folks, and it is going to be awesome. And for all the cast and crew here at Rogers TV, thank you so much. We have the best crew in the nation, no question about it. Great volunteers and wonderful job done by everybody here, and we're going to be seeing more of them back in the championship series. The Brampton Battalion Eastern Conference champions take this one 7-4 over the Belleville Bulls. We'll see you back here next Friday for the championship series. See you.
Nice kid and a kid that deserves a lot better than the way it has finished for him. Out in front, Jason Dale! Buries one for the Battalion. They lead it to the point. Hodgson today. His shot to the front of it. Hits the body, they score! Matt Duchene on the power play! Johnson to the side of the net. McCollum with a save of his own. Rebound. Puck is down, they score! Brandon Mashiner. Nice kid and a kid that deserves a lot better than the way it has finished for him. Out in front, Jason Dale! Buries one for the Battalion. They lead it to the point. Hodgson today. His shot to the front of it. Hits the body, they score! Matt Duchene on the power play! Johnson to the side of the net. McCollum with a save of his own. Rebound. Puck is down, they score! Brandon Mashiner. It's 2-1. There's a break. Palmieri right out in front, goes to the back, and he scores! Nick Palmieri tying the game. For the Battalion, he's able to clear it along the boards, but Pajot gets it back to the front of the net. Backhand, they score! Back up top. Nick Tansky couldn't get the shot away. Rebound, Kang. Duchene scores! Matt Duchene tying the game on the power play. It's away from him. Ryan Marquette. Hodgson follows up. Grachev sweeps it up, they score! Cody Hodgson and the Battalion. Foot off the gas for the last 12 minutes. Duchene out of the corner. Sharp angle shot. They score! Matt Duchene with the hat trick. The Battalion lead by 2. Mashner keeps it in, gets the return pass out in front. Backhand, he scores! It's 5-4. Brandon Mashner wheels it past. Grachev's got the open net. Can he slide the puck in? He certainly can! 6-4, Battalion leading. He's got the Windsor Spitfires ready to roll, and a little bit of rest for them.